Good afternoon. Welcome to another edition of the 411 Talk Zone radio show right here on YouTube. Now, what I'm doing today is a reload of my Friday stream. Now, I tried to do it on Friday, but I didn't have everything prepared and nobody came up. Apparently, there were a lot of people streaming. Now, today, I don't know what it's going to be, but I'm going to talk about the same information that I had Friday. Now, it is very important that you understand what I'm talking about because it affects all of us. And I'm going to get into the economic situation and, of course, the gas price situation because it's apparent that you see everything is going up. Now, I have a poll question out today. It's not ambiguous like the past two poll questions were. This one is straightforward. Either yes or no. In the chat, do you believe that we are going into a recession? Also, what I'm looking at with the gas prices, and good afternoon to you, antisocial socialite. Well, you're going to get something here because it's going to be educational here. I'm looking at economics, a little politics, and then I'm going to go ahead and do some freestyle. What's going on, brother Angry Snowman? Well, looking at the gas prices, and I've been out every day this week. I'm from the state of Indiana. Live in Lafayette, Indiana, which is between Indianapolis and, of course, Chicago. Shout out to you, Gerald28. And I do have to ask this question. Is all of this economic downturn by design? Or is it what's really happening? Because I know we've been told from the time we were young, you can live the American dream. I will say this. We could, Angry Snowman, be going into an actual depression. Maybe not to the effect of what happened in 1929. However, I just have my speculations that is it with the gas prices? Is it to force us to use electric cars? Now, I will tell you something about electric cars. You have to have charging stations. I don't see enough charging stations. Now, you're still going to have to use oil. And when we talk about gas, you need gas to heat your home. You need fuel to transport goods and services. You also need gas to fly airplanes. The military needs gas to operate their tanks. You need gas. Now, with the gas going up, what is that going to mean for jobs? I mean, you already saw the economic report, I believe it came out on Friday, where 600,000 to 700,000 jobs were created. I'm going to say that's a flat line. This was all in February. You know why that's a flat lie? Because a number of the jobs that have been created, they just haven't been filled from individuals that were laid off due to COVID. Shout out to you, believe on the Lord Jesus Christ. 2 Corinthians 6:2. For he saith, I have thee in an accepted and in the day of salvation. I have succored thee. Behold, now is the anticipation time. Behold, now is the day of salvation. Angry Snowman, the American dream is live. We were sold to keep us focused on keeping up with the Joneses. Bingo, that's the truth. And less focused on our families. Antisocial says it's a new order of chaos. That is a fact. Gerald 28. Yes, we are, and I believe it's by design. My brother sent me a text complaining about gas. Of course, he's a Biden voter. You know, it's funny with these Biden voters out there. Where are you? I want somebody to come up here on that panel who voted for Biden to defend this, just like little Big Nate would say. Can you defend that? I don't know if fracking is going on. Can you defend that the XL pipeline was shut down? Can you defend that we are depending on other person's gas? I don't know if it's Russian, it's probably OPEC, but we're still depending on energy. Regardless of what you believe about the other administration, we were energy independent. Jobs, many of us were working. I don't care what you say, the media caused all this too, because the media did not want 45 to become president again. Now you look at 46, and 46 is basically got in power and basically put his leftist policies out here, and this country is destroyed. Now, of course, living here in America, we've all been told about the dream. The dream, in my humble opinion, is what it is. A dream is not reality. Yes, Angry Snowman said it best. We are basically looking at trying to keep up with the Joneses, although my last name is Jones, but material goods. And I'm just going to tell you this. Material goods are what they are. They're tangible items. If you make more money, what are you going to do? You're going to go buy more of these tangible items for what? Salute to you, Cool Kamasi. Many of us are going to buy all of these material goods for status. But in the end, are you really happy? Many of us, I shouldn't say many of you, I'm going to say many of us. Many of us cannot afford all these material items. You go out and buy a house. This is what individuals never think about when they buy a house. You're a person or two or three, and you're buying a 2,000 square foot house. Ask yourself, what do you need all that space for? And what individuals don't know, you have to look at, okay, number one, when you buy a house, where is that house oriented? And the question has to be said. How is it oriented? Now, you must remember, when you buy a house, you have what we call, involved with that, particularly in the winter time, it's called heat. Heat gain and heat loss. Now, the more windows you have in that house, the more heat you're going to lose. Now, if you have natural barriers like trees and awnings, you don't need to cut on your air conditioner as much in the summertime. Now, if you go further south, you get the 3 H's, hot, hazy, and humid. Now, why am I telling you all this? Because this is money going right out the door. You have a number of individuals going out buying the latest cell phone. Angry Snowman says, well, nothing is built of quality anymore or built to last. It's all disposable junk that you constantly have to replace because it fails or breaks, which keeps us spending more money on the same stuff. That's correct. Belief on the Lord Jesus Christ, he's definitely new here. Capitalism has been the best concept thus far, but it has let us down because human nature is just no dang good. I yearn the coming for Jesus Christ, for his kingdom will be perfect. That's right. Angry Snowman has a fact. Now, if you put the Bible in accordance to the message, it is also a fact. You see, what I've learned at the age of 57 when it comes to keeping up with the Joneses is I can't keep up with the Joneses. Keeping up with the Joneses is something that is out of my realm due to the resources. And brothers, just want to give you a shout out. Shout out to brother Ringo TV Raw. I tell you what, he has good content and the best setup I've seen on YouTube as far as studio is concerned. That brother is telling the truth about what's going on with dating out here. And I respect, that's the real OG of YouTube. Get over to his channel. Get over to Angry Snowman's channel. And also get to the Antisocial Socialite podcast channel. Antisocial Socialite podcast and, of course, the Angry Snowman. Spam your channels in my chat. Help get your numbers up. Both of them have some good content. And if Survival is in the chat, get your channel out there as well, because they're doing some excellent material as well. But getting back to the economics and this gas situation. Everybody cannot afford an electric car. Electric cars cost way too much money. A number of individuals are paying for a car the same as if they were paying for a mortgage on a house. Now, you need a car, don't get me wrong. But you have to look at the gas prices. What is the real agenda? Now, we could all point out to different items. Now, one area I will point out is when I go to downtown Indianapolis, and I'm using Indianapolis as an example because I live here in Indiana, and that is the biggest city in Indiana. And also, shout out to Cool Kamasi. Like, share, and subscribe to his channel. He just spammed this channel in my chat. But I notice Indianapolis, when I go in that town, I see they're building a lot of apartments in Indianapolis. Now, why is that? Well, by design, the lefties want us all to move into the cities to be on top of one another. And what happens if we're on top of one another? Well, if they have improved mass transportation, they want us to take transportation so we don't have to get in cars. But I know in the city of Indianapolis, they don't have the greatest transportation system like they do in Chicago and Baltimore and St. Louis and New York and Boston and Atlanta. No, Indianapolis just has a bus line. One called the Red Line that's been disastrous. So, but you stack all your individuals into a city, you raise the population of the city, but also the property value goes down in the city. And everyone must remember, we need gas to run our cars. Now, there's natural gas out there. And again, I'm not going to put politics into this live stream, but 2022 is here. And I believe the Democrats are going to get wiped out. Angry Snowman says crony capitalism, which is what America's economy really is. It is basically legalized corporate monopolization of our country. Free market trade, which is different altogether, is the only way to stimulate economy. Brother Angry Snowman says public transportation isn't that bad. They have the blue car rentals where you can get a car anywhere in the city too. Well, Brother Angry Man knows it as well. He lives here in the state of Indiana. He lives on the other side of Indiana in Muncie, but I work in Indianapolis every day, so I know as well. And now we're only using Indianapolis as an example because we live here. Belief on the Lord Jesus Christ. Well said, but I will also say that ended up as, I don't see it as crony capitalism. Well, one thing I will say, You have all the fat cats at the top. And what they've done, they've basically enriched themselves off of the backs of us. Now, when that happens, and I'm going to repeat myself again. When that happens, the rich become richer and we become poor. Any type of tax cut that we get is a small tax cut. When you raise the corporate tax rate, I don't know what it is right now. I know Trump brought it down to around 20%. Biden wants to raise it again to 28%. Well, we used to have one of the highest corporate tax rates in the world. Well, what happens when you raise your corporate tax rate? Can't give raises. Your product is outsourced. And when your product is outsourced, there go your jobs. And if we want to get that American product that was made here and it's now made in China or Russia or another country that can do it for cheap, you know they're going to charge us tariffs. And see, what's happening is number of individuals are watching too much television. They don't really know what's going on in the economy. The dollar isn't worth what it used to be. Gerald says Longview has grown quite a bit, but our public transportation system is terrible. Just have a bus line. If you don't have a car, you're screwed. Well, you know, that's the same way, Gerald, here in Indiana. Now, I live in a smaller city than Indianapolis. It's called Lafayette, Indiana. The only thing we have is a bus system. We don't have a train. Now, we do have an Amtrak that it may take us to Chicago. It may take us to Indianapolis. But if you all are living in cities and towns, you may want to look at your public transportation system. Now, I don't know whether they're trying to encourage carpooling. You think I'm going to put some crazy in my car when I have to get up and go to work? I got to go pick them up. And when I pick them up, they're not ready. I'm going to be hot because it's taking up my time. Now, the question is, should we forget the American dream? Just abandon it altogether. Just say it's mythical, it's lies, it's deception. Or do we continue to believe it? Because I see the more we believe in the American dream, the more depressed we become. Because we're trying to follow a trend that everybody else is following and we're not getting there. And many of us don't look at reality. Many of us see the American dream. It's great to have something that you can search for or be part of, but many of us don't have the resources or the knowledge to get there. Angry Snowman says, I can see more saying that, how the laissez-faire capitalism that corporate big dogs have used to keep government from regulating them and allowing them to monopolize certain markets. Shout out to you, Lawrence. Well, you know, it's funny that you mentioned monopolization because one area that is monopolized here in this country is cable TV. Now, I know where I live here in Lafayette, and there are probably some other parts of the country that have a big cable company known as Xfinity or Comcast. Time Warner, well, now AT&T owns Time Warner. So what it is you're going to have a monopoly or a duopoly, meaning that you're going to have maybe one or two individuals controlling the market. And what happens when they control the market? They also control the prices. And when the prices are controlled, doesn't mean you're getting quality products. Now, going back to everything that has been said, do you all believe in the jobs report? When I looked at the jobs for February of 2022, and I got it from USA Today, and check that link out, said that the unemployment rate has gone down to maybe 3.8%. Well, I can already tell you the reason why it's gone down. It's because nobody's working. Nobody wants to work. Because it's funny, we got a brand new Popeyes chicken coming here in Lafayette, Indiana, and there's another one coming in West Lafayette, Indiana, right around the Purdue area, and they're paying between $15 and $19 an hour. Do you really believe that anybody is going to apply for those jobs? Some may, but I guarantee you a number of them aren't. Frito-Lay in Frankfort, Indiana. You've heard of Frito-Lay. They're based out of Houston, but they have plants in Georgia. They have a plant in Frankfort, Indiana. They're actually hiring between $20 and $41 an hour. They still have the signs up. Do you believe that anybody is going to go apply for those jobs? Some. I just believe that the government is basically trying to get people with the mindset that they don't need to work. However, without taxpayers, how is the government going to be funded? I know when I lived in the state of Pennsylvania, 40% of the population didn't work. What's going on, Brother Nate? Salute. I know that 40% of the Pennsylvanians didn't work. 60% of us did work. So what was happening, people like me who were part of that 60% of workers were paying all the taxes to fund the 40% of the people that weren't working. Now, I know life isn't fair, but when you have created a dependency on government, that's what the left has done. And yes, I'm going to get political with this one because the left has destroyed a lot of this country. And it all started in the 60s, but you can see it now. It's getting worse. The president had a SOTO, which is a State of the Union address, and it was nothing but lies, 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 talking about gas prices. If I walk out the door today, now yesterday I walked out, drove around for about a few hours. I saw gas go up, $3.79, $3.89, $3.99. It's $4.09 in some places here in Indiana. Now, we're only in March. What do you think the prices are going to be in the summertime? And something else that's missing, and God, I hope they don't shoot my channel down for this, the virus. I'm just going to call it the O virus, okay? Just for short. Whatever happened to talks about the O virus? Whatever happened to the talks about the VAX or the jab? I don't hear those talks anymore. So did they manipulate those numbers as well? There were some people in the military that lost their jobs because of the lack of getting the jab. Some federal workers. This is why you can't believe all the numbers that have come out as well. And the media is one conglomerate that I never believed. And the reason why I don't believe the media, because the media is slanted. I never, ever believe what a college professor says either. Shout out to the Angry Snowman. That's how it always is, Leon. Think about it. Explain it to me how people who don't work can file for income tax returns they never paid into. Well, you know, that's a very interesting scenario. If they have kids, I'll tell you how they're getting all these big income tax returns back, because they have a lot of child tax credits. Even if they're getting child support is income, but it's not taxable. But because they have a number of kids, at the end of the day, They're filling out the tax returns for themselves. I know they have the child tax credit. It's supposed to be examined thoroughly, but I don't believe it is. And they're getting big tax checks. Now, just like we say when it comes to dating, there's an economy for simps. There's also an economy for the poor, especially during this time of year, to where individuals get big refund checks. Now, where does that refund check really go? I'll tell you where it's going to go. You see all these commercials, and I'm going to just use this name as an example. It's going to lose used cars. Some rinky tink car dealer, they're taking their income tax checks, they're buying cars. Angry Snowman, kids shouldn't be a qualification for income tax return when you don't have any income. That's a fact as well. But somehow you have individuals who know their way around the system. Now, they can't go out and get a job, but they're able bodied, but they understand the system. And see what the government is really doing, the leftists, shout out to Brother Nate, the leftists have really created an environment of dependency. Now, what they really want is for many of us to stay home while we get a UBI, a universal basic income. Well, if you do that, then the next thing is going to come where they subsidize everything. And when everything is subsidized, it doesn't mean the quality is good. You have a number of people that aren't living the greatest quality of life. And then on top of that, it's going to be more and more regulations. And people out there, if you don't keep up with what's going on, you're going to find yourself in real slavery. I mean, if you raise the corporate tax rate again, some of these private companies out there, that could be money going to you for a raise. And I'm just going to say, during this administration, it's pretty hard to get a business started, especially if you don't know the tax code, because there's all kinds of information going around that they want to look at your bank accounts for transactions $600 or greater. And going back, and I'm not going to put any misinformation out, going back to the time many of us worked remotely in 2020, I believe that this was the time for your big politicians to come up with a scheme for universal basic income. And I believe that the stimulus checks were a start. And see, when people aren't paying attention, this is when you have individuals going behind the scenes, sneaking policies in that we never knew about. Look at Obamacare. In the middle of the night, they sneaked that in without Republican support. And I can tell you right now, cost of health insurance, believe it or not, for people like me, has gone up. Because a lot of lefties have this redistribution of wealth policy, something that they never even thought about. They want us to live a life that's in turmoil while they live an easy life. Look at Section 8. Shout out to the Angry Snowman. That's correct. But going at it, without a good economy, life becomes very difficult to live for some people. Now, my suggestion is, while we are going through the downers, because I can tell you this summer, if gas is in the $5 and $6 range, who's going to lose out? A lot of your restaurants are going to lose out. A lot of your big tourist traps. Now, if they're local tourist traps, they may be all right, but people aren't going to be flying as much. People aren't going to be driving 10 hours. And I know we have a Manosphere meetup coming up in November. And at the end of the day, they're going to have to look at that. If these gas prices are high, they may have to switch cities. Shout out to Brother Nate on that. That might be something we talk about. More money went to foreign interest and corporate greed from those stymies than the people our government bankrupt. Yes, that's true. Compressing the ability to side hustle is the death of all of us in the poor middle class. Facts as well. Now, again, I have a poll question now. And let me go to the poll question. I asked in my poll question, and I only had one vote in it. Nobody went to the poll. I put another one up. Is the United States headed for a recession? I had one vote. 100. One person said yes. So I'm going to go ahead and put the poll question up again. Is the United States, I have to type this out myself, headed for a recession? I say recession first before depression. That's usually what happens. Headed for a recession. Yes or no? Put the poll, put it right back up there. And want everybody to understand. Poll questions up again. Is the United States headed for a recession? What I'm going to do also, I want everybody to click the link so they can like, share, and subscribe to the 411 Talk Zone radio show channel and my newer channel, formerly the Mind of STEM, the QCIS channel. Now, what I'm going to do is go ahead and drop the link for those to come in to my video, come online so we can kick this around, because I'm at the 34-minute mark. I'm not one that likes to continue to talk all day, although I do have the energy enough to go 3 or 4 hours. All right, the link is in for anybody who wants to come up so we can discuss this, because I'm not petrified, because I already know what's going on. But there are a number of us out here who really don't know what's going on. And do you care what's going on? That's the big question. Are you one of those who are sitting at home, still collecting, and you don't care what happens to the economy because you're benefiting from it? Believe on the Lord Jesus Christ that housing is ridiculous now. I see homes worth $80,000 selling for $300,000. That's a fact too. Again, that's another question to ask. Is a house worth buying in this economy? That's a good question to ask. Now, like I say, I don't own a house, and okay, I don't have a problem. I pay rent, but I have a roof over my head. Now, I'm not saying you can't get anything from owning a house, but you have to be able to manage your money. And one thing this government on the left is not going to do is tell you how to manage your money, because they're very confiscatory. They're taking our money. They're wasting our money on other countries. Useless wars. Now, it's funny how we can send other countries money, but we can't be energy independent. There's plenty of oil up there in Anwar. We could tap that. There's fracking. Probably organized implementation of communism. That's fact. An antisocial socialite, could you spam your channel so people can come to your channel and subscribe to your channel in the chat, please? Anybody who has a channel, put it in the chat so my audience can subscribe to your channel, because it's very paramount that we keep this information flowing out here. Because I know antisocial socialite, she lives over in England. The problem here with economies, it's not just an American problem, it's a global problem. Angry Snowman, is a house even worth investment anymore? Is the equity you're supposed to acquire even financially beneficial in the way it was 50 years ago? That's a good question. Anybody who owns a house, I know Little Big Nate, you own a house. Let me know. I did drop the link. I'll drop it again if you want to come up, and then we'll take a look at some numbers and kick it around, because I am not set on the jobs numbers. And I want to tell you about numbers. Raw numbers are the best numbers to deal with, but when somebody gives you some numbers, research those numbers. Don't just take them at face value. Now, I know a lot of the Bidenites, oh, they love it. Yeah, the job market looks real good. The job market has always been there, realistically. But you got to be looking for a job. Shout out to you, Nate. It'll be open for you, and I'll be coming on your show. Everybody, get the Little Big Nate show. But in the end, I'm really concerned about the gas. In fact, I got to get up and go to work tomorrow. Now, it's funny. When I went to work last Sunday, gas, it was hovering around, I'm going to say $3.49. Now, that was February 28th, which was last Sunday. When I go to work tomorrow, we're going to hit the $4 mark. Now, if you are driving a Beamer or Mercedes, see, that's another thing you need to understand. Those cars don't take regular gasoline. Those cars take Supreme. Now, when I stopped at a gas station, and it was close to Cloverdale after I was coming back from Terre Haute, it was $3.99 for regular, $4.26 for mid-grade. And for Supreme, it was $4.69. Shout out Tampa Supreme. What's going on? Antisocial socialite says, control the food and you control the people. Destroy the economy, you will force everyone to be subjected to the government. Facts. But you want to know what antisocial? This is my opinion. People like us who are pretty much informed, and it's a minority of us, many of us are looking at the stupid people in this country, and they believe being dependent on government is a good thing. But these are lazy people out here who don't want to contribute. They want to live off the fat of the land. And in the end, that's not going to work. Tell you what else is going to go up too. How many of you all are going to college out there? All the cost of college is going to continue to rise. You're going to get a good education for what? To get no return on investment. So in the end, I'm just going to say this. We should be concerned about the economy. And not too many people are talking about what's going on over there in Ukraine. Is America going to help? Hope not. My whole thing is, it's my humble opinion. That's true. Self-sufficiency is being destroyed. My personal opinion, many of us need to know how to become a minimalist. In other words, enjoy our life instead of always going after what we want all the time. See, the problem is when we go after what we want, we have this delusion that we can afford it. And if we do get it, we then change our mind and then say, well, God, why did I buy it? Because we didn't look at the constraints. If not Trump back, we need a Trump type back. Shrewd businessman needs to run and get this blinding out. Facts. Of course, Biden is going to help Ukraine cover up his decades of money laundering with them. And his son was involved in that too. You see, these are all the fat cats out there. And these fat cats are out there getting rich off of corruption. Now, capitalism is a good system until it's abused. And generally, it's the people at the top. They really set the tone for the American dream because for them, it is not a dream, it's reality. Because they got enough money to make the laws. They even have their friends in their back pocket that they give money to so they can create everything for themselves, have monopolies, duopolies. You have a corrupted media out there that's basically going to tell you everything that they want you to hear. Not what you need to hear, they want you to hear. And we have individuals out here who are blind, then there's really no hope. Now, again, I served this country in the military for 17 years. Was it great in the military? You know, I go back and I'm proud to have been in the military, but I ask myself questions. Good afternoon, Miss Jill. I go back and ask myself these questions after joining the military from 1989 to 2006. What did I fight for? Administrations that didn't give a darn about me. I was just a number. Now, don't get me wrong. I was proud to serve in the military, 17 years in the United States Navy. And anybody who is in the military, thank you for your service. But you need to always ask, what are you really fighting for? Because many times if we go to war, we got our hands tied behind our backs anyway, because some bureaucrat who's never fought is dictating how we should conduct business during wartime. Angry Snowman, what Edison did to Tesla is a perfect example of what happens when government has corporations monopolize ideas. Thank you. I understand what you're feeling, Miss Jill, because I asked myself, why did I serve? I was proud to serve. But you start having preconceived notions and doubts. See, when I get up and go to work, it means something to me. No, brother, I was actually a CB. I was a sailor at first, and I was a CB working in the construction battalion in the United States Navy. Seamen is an E1 in the enlisted ranks in the United States Navy and Coast Guard, not seamen. You have it SEMEN. Now, we're not busting nuts here. Now, going back to what's going on with the gas prices, with these prices up like this, gotta have to look down the road. Are we going to have odd, even days? I remember back in 1979, when I was 14 years old, we had the gas lines. We had odd, even days. If you had an odd number on your license plate, you could get gas. If you had an even number, you can get gas another day. I hope that doesn't happen again. But you know what I always say about history? History always repeats itself. And again, education. How we're being educated is another issue. Educational institutions, they're money makers as well. They're not teaching their students anything but propaganda, so they can spew that propaganda into the real world, like feminism, LGBTQ studies, African American studies. These individuals aren't getting educated. They're getting indoctrinated. And are getting indoctrinated to believe in government. Look at Cloward Pivens. They wanted to collapse the society and start something brand new. Look at people like Saul Alinsky, Rules for Radicals. Look at Bill Ayers and the Weather Underground. You know, all this stuff, this protest, BLM, Antifa. It's funny because we're actually continuing on what happened to the 1960s. Was Vietnam a war that made sense? No. Yes, there are fighting cameras in classrooms. Yeah, I did hear that. And the funny thing, that's true, Miss Jill. The funny thing is that the schools think parents are the enemies. I mean, they want transgender studies in these schools. They want students to learn communism in schools. And in the end, your education is going to be another downfall of this society. And this is why individuals need to have an idea of what's going on. And I'm going to continue to preach this because does anybody know that your vote, okay? You got to do more than just vote when it comes to politics. You got to understand how it works. Politics is more than just a vote. You're going to have to lobby. You're going to have to go to town hall meetings. You have to ask the tough questions. We need more channels on YouTube because YouTube now is really becoming your mainstream media. Now, I used to watch Fox and Newsmax royally. I don't even watch those channels anymore. I definitely cut away a long time ago from the communist news network known as CNN and MSNBC and the other alphabet channels because they're not for people who have a different point of view. In fact, the word that you hear from the left when it comes to anybody that disagrees with them, I call it cowardly. It's called cancel. But see, they can have their own views of what they see when it comes to traditionalism. And they see that traditionalism is wrong, but they're allowed to have their views. If you don't believe me, you go on Twitter, you go on Facebook, and you look at the propaganda that's spewed on those two media conglomerates. In fact, you have Facebook out here, which is now Meta. They're part of the social media monopoly. And see, when you have all these monopolies out here, like a Twitter, like a Google, I remember when Google didn't even own YouTube. In fact, back in the days, when you got on YouTube, you didn't make any money, but the content was quality. Shout out to Ringo TV. He is one of the OGs, and he could profess that because he was on YouTube and getting channels flagged. That brother took a hit after hit after hit for speaking truth. And one thing that I know that people of today have is a lack of stomach. And what I mean by a lack of stomach, they don't have the stomach for the truth. Everything is invoked in emotion. And when you put out truth, they want to cancel you. And the reason why they want to cancel you is because you're telling the truth. You're looking up information. And I've always said that information is powerful. But you have some people that don't want you to put that information out because it goes against what they're saying, because you're basically counteracting what they're saying. You see, what we have in today's society is individuals who don't think. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm just going to put it out like this. We have a lot of ignorant people. I see it every day when I get up. People are running lights. People are forgetting to do the basics just to get to a 9-to-5 job that's not paying them any money. We have individuals who are getting more and more crazy. I still see a number of people wearing masks out here. And they want me to wear a mask. I'm not wearing a mask. Something else that we all need to understand too, while we're here in America, and this isn't said too much on YouTube, we need to be our own lawyers. Get a Black's Law Dictionary. Start understanding the law for yourself. And the reason why I say that is because a lot of attorneys know how to twist and bend the law, and they want to put language like quid pro quo, something that you can't even understand. Only litigators understand that. And if you're left in the dark, you're always going to have the wool pulled over your eyes. Know what it's like when you're dealing with interest rates. Understand that a bank isn't always the best place to keep your money. Understand Bitcoin and crypto and return on investment. Because in actuality, it's not a job that really makes you money. It's investment of your money. You can take $1 and become a millionaire. It's going to take a long time. But if you go to the right place and invest that dollar, it's going to mature, but it takes time. And see, many of us, we're so impatient. We want everything today. And ETFs versus 401k. Yeah, that's true too. I still hear talk about in the private sector 401k plans. Now, the problem I have with any type of investment is you got to understand the market. Markets go up and they go down. And when it comes to stocks, of course, you have treasury stock, but that treasury stock is basically the stock that they buy back from the people and they keep it stored up until they sell it again. So when you're really investing in stock, it's common stock and preferred stock. I believe the preferred stock goes up and down where your common stock doesn't. That's what people aren't telling you. And I'm an engineer and I do a lot of reading, and I'm not an expert on stock. But I do have the common sense to know that stocks do go up and they do go down. And what all of us need to do is become much better with our money. Many of us are shelling too much money out. I always talk about going to the doctor too. Notice it's been about an hour of economics, but this is very important to me. One of the ways I believe that you can keep your doctor bills down is go for your checkups. And the older you get, you're going to run into more and more problems. But if you can take care of the problems at the lowest level, you're not going to spend a lot of money. Insurance is going to continue to go up. Has any one of you gone to the grocery store lately? I mean, I know I used to buy pork chops. Pork chops have gone up. Some of them are as high as $20, $22. Chicken wings, if you want to make buffalo wings, they're going up for an 8-pound bag, almost $30. Beef is going up. But there's a lot that you need to be concerned with. And the gas, the reason why some of us are talking about the gas, because the gas and oil industry affects every other industry. I mean, when the price of gas goes up, people are not going to travel as much. I'm not going to say they won't travel. They're going to take shorter trips. That means your Walt Disney's, unless you live locally, they're not going to make the money that they made. Your restaurant industry. In fact, during the coronavirus era, the industry that was hit the most was your hospitality industry. And when I look at your hospitality industry, that was the industry, and I worked in it for years myself. They were ones who had the highest turnover. Now, if you look at the hospitality industry now, you see that they're paying $15 an hour and more. And one of the reasons why it's very hard to get into a restaurant and get seated right away is because there's not enough staffing to do any type of work. Now, other customer service jobs, some of them are working remotely still. But when it comes to gas, the high gas prices are going to affect what we do, and they are going up. And I've never seen $4 an hour, correction, $4 a gallon at this time. $4 an hour. Got my boy, Big Nate. What's going on, bro?
What up, Doc? How you doing?
Man, I'm glad you came up, man. What's gas going on down there?
In South Carolina, we're about 380. I think 350, 360. I'll be honest with you. I have a company car. I really don't pay a lot of attention to gas prices.
But some of the things you said, we talked about the left, brother, and I don't see anybody. And I took one of your lines. Whoever voted for Biden needs to come up here and defend this. Nobody.
And I'll be happy to name some names. Shout out to Big Truck Series. He's a cool dude, but
Big Trucker.
Big Truck, yeah. Big Truck was all over Ramil's and Mr. Fantastics.
I saw him on the mill today. Did he vote for Biden?
All he did was encourage people to vote for Biden in this space. I had a couple of run-ins with him about it, and I said, dude, you're insane. And I know for a fact he's listening to my content, on my old channel, because he would say things about feminists that I would say. He talked about the document I produced showing feminists' ultimate aim. I had like 6 or 7 of the top feminists and direct quotes from them about how they want to destroy the American family. And now he's every other word out of Big Truck's mouth is liberals, these horrible feminists.
You know what you're right about that.
Like, bruh, you voted for this.
Hey, you are right about that, because I've seen it, and he gets crazy. But brother Nate, look at these.
And Big Truck's cool. I'm not
He's cool. We like Big Truck.
Cool dude, but man, it's just so contradictory, man.
But where are the people to defend this?
Well, MOT. I'm not going to say the things I would say on my channel about him on your channel. But MOT was a proponent of the Luciferian left. Mike V was a hard proponent of the Luciferian left. And where are they? Where are they?
They're silent. And everything that we've been spewing out, brother, it's
100% correct.
And we're not energy dependent. We're energy dependent now. We're not. And look, there's some people out there that, wow, I heard on Reg, and shout out to brother Reg, that even him out in California, he even acknowledged Trump. He acknowledged Trump.
Oh yeah. Reg, I think, because Reg, and shout out to Reg. I ain't got no problem with Reg.
No, we don't have any problem.
Absolutely. One of his criticisms of me that he says on his show, little Nate's real good. He's real good at what he does, man. He just needs to stop talking about the Democrats. Yeah.
No, you need to. We all need to talk about him, man. I talk about him. The problem is, if we don't talk about them, brother, these are the ones that are sucking the life out of us. Let's just be honest.
Absolutely.
And everybody, brother Nate is up. I'll be going on his panel later on. Shout out to him. Subscribe to his new channel, Nate Dogg 74, because he's gonna come right on back. He's gonna get political as well. Because brother Nate, we need to keep putting this stuff out here, man. We need
absolutely.
I thought about it, and at the end of the day, it's about how we live, and the American dream. I understand the American dream, but right now, I look at the American dream as a deceiver right now, because many of us. We don't live the American dream, and not living the American dream is. I love to live the American dream, but it's very hard right now. Very hard right now, and we got.
Absolutely, man. It's
We know we got to know how to conserve our money up here. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, $1.6 trillion. It would make us like the 10th wealthiest nation on earth. That's what comes through Black people's hands. And so many Black people are pouring out of doors, not because there's not access to money, to opportunity. We take what we get and we throw it away.
And by the way, what time are you streaming today, man? I would just
4 o'clock, sir. I'm
4
putting
o'clock.
a link.
Okay, I'll be done by then.
Excellent.
I want to make sure I catch your streaming. What are you going to be talking about today?
Do you know how to? I just dropped it in the link. I dropped the link to my stream coming up. Hold on, I'm gonna drop it in the link right now.
Drop it. And
here it is. Here it is.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you're gonna love the thumbnail. You're gonna love it.
Oh, you drop it because and like I said, folks, I normally don't stream on Sundays. I stream on Fridays. I'm gonna be streaming again next Friday, and I'm going to get more into some political content because many of us don't know about economics. Angry Snowman is up here as well.
What it do, brother Leon?
Hey, what it do? And brother Nate.
Hey, what's up, brother Nate?
Hey, how you doing, man?
Yeah,
living. I guess I should be happy.
All any of us, right?
I mean the gas prices though they really have me. Do you know when I left one city and went to another city, they jumped? I mean, it's jumped up over 60 cents here in Indiana. And if you're out there driving, brother Nate, you have a company car, but it's still going to go up. It's going to affect your company and how they pay.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
And nobody really wants to talk about this in this Ukraine situation, but I'm gathering.
Well, I find it interesting, Leon, that the gas prices right now, within a year's time, are at the same level they were during the Obama years, the last 4 of them. That fast.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously. I mean, and then if you really want to dig into it, not to mention are they, at the Obama administration's gas prices, but right before all the Biden came into office, was it not a slap in everyone's face when we were told that we weren't allowed to go do shit, that they dropped gas prices down to the prices they were when we were kids, 95, right. 96, 98 cents a gallon, and told us, oh, but you ain't allowed to actually go fill your car up and go drive and utilize that gas being that low for a change.
I remember in my early 20s, gas being 98 cents a gallon.
Right, that's how it was. Dude, Nate, that's how it was for me. I remember when I was 19, 20 years old, gas was, they'd have the 95 cents a gallon sales all the time.
Yeah.
And you could go to the gas station. I drove an 86 Grand Prix with a 350 in it. I could literally fill the gas tank up, buy a candy bar, a pack of cigarettes, and a Mountain Dew and still have change left over.
Or
for $20.
Or you could opt to go to premium. My friend, a buddy of mine, bought a brand new Honda Civic back in like 98, 99. He bought a brand new Honda Civic, and he wanted to keep it spotless, and he only put premium in.
Oh, speaking of premium,
in a Honda Civic.
Speaking with premium, you know what premium?
Premium and a Honda Civic. He was just all about his car. Some young dudes are just all about their car.
Doesn't that just take regular? Now, Miss Jill
regular.
Miss Jill has it in Arizona and Nevada, $4.15. That's on the low end. That's regular gas. Now,
Charlotte is almost $4. Yeah.
Here's a poor people's hack if you want to put premium in your gas tank. Go buy you a bottle of Octane Boost. Put that in your gas tank before you fill up, and then fill up. Now you got premium.
Yeah, what we're running here, Nate, and premium in some stations. I saw you're gonna laugh at me when I say this. $4.69. We're running
all those Mercedes guys, all those Hellcat guys. God bless them.
The bottom line, I got the Buick Encore, but I got a 2006 Chevrolet Trailblazer. Do you know how much it costs to fill that bad boy up?
I would imagine $65.
More than that, bro. More than that. I got a 22-gallon tank, about $85 with this price.
Ooh,
dude, that's like the Crown Vic, man. You know how much it costs to fill that thing up? Good Lord.
And do you know what I believe this is? And you guys could put your own interpretation on it. I do believe they're trying to get us to electric cars, but I said it earlier.
Oh, the push is heavy. I'm in the industry. It's very heavy to push.
And how is that going to be because you work in the insurance industry? How is this all going to affect insurance? Because with electric cars, don't you have to have a number of charging stations?
Well, you need charging stations, and what people don't understand about electric cars, they are remarkably fast.
Oh, okay.
They are remarkably fast because there's no with your standard engine with naturally aspirated engines, it's a run up to the higher speeds and the higher outputs. Electric is instantaneous. You push the throttle on an electric car, you are gone. There's a truck. God, what's the?
Is it
just go ahead?
Tesla makes?
No. It's the new.
Or is it the BMW one?
No. Hold on. So give me a second. God damn it.
Well, see, look. This is my problem with electric. All right. They say that the reason why they're trying to implement electric is because they want everybody to go green. They want to reduce on emissions, and they want to, cut the carbon footprint and this, that, and the other. But have they figured out a way that they're going to actually have charging stations that produce electricity without burning coal and oil to make it happen?
Wow.
Yeah, because the burning of coal is supposedly such a terrible thing.
And coal is what produces our electricity.
And Miss Jill says she's taking your advice. She thought about your advice about the octane boost. Her car takes premium. Hey,
I want you to know that your car will take regular too. Just because it says it only takes premium, you realize that a lot of manufacturers, they do that because they're contracts that they sign with the oil industry, saying that they will say that the car should only be ran on premium to get you to buy the most expensive petrol they can get you to buy, so the oil company can make more money.
Now, Gerald28, who was on Nate's panel, he's been on in his chat as well. It's 365 down there. He drives a Civic, which I believe a Civic Coupe is made by Honda, so that's pretty good on gas.
And if I let me chime back in.
Yeah, go ahead, bro.
That electric truck I was talking about is the Rivian.
Who makes it?
There's a big car YouTuber named Doug DeMuro. He does great reviews on vehicles. Go check out the Rivian. It's an amazing vehicle, absolutely amazing. It's all electric, and it's faster than Ferraris, Lamborghinis, Teslas. It even beats the Tesla.
I would have to see this, man.
Outrageously fast.
I got to see that.
I think there's going to be a lot of accidents related to these incredibly fast electric cars because, again, naturally aspirated engines, it takes time to run up to top speed. These electric cars, because they're electric,
all you got to do is make a limit switch.
All you got to do is press the throttle and you're gone.
Yeah, and when you press that throttle, what it does is it opens up basically a limit switch.
Now let me ask you something, Nate. With the since you're in this business, are some of these electric cars out there too? Because I just did an assignment on it, and I'm gonna use the word autonomous and semi-autonomous, which I'm talking about autopilot, non-autopilot. You know,
the self-driving aspect to them.
You know exactly what I'm talking about. Some people would not know. Yes.
Now I'm curious, man. Call me a dumb, farm boy that, doesn't know anything, but why haven't we switched to hydroelectric cars yet?
Oh, go ahead.
This is your area, Nate. Isn't there a guy that made a hydroelectric engine and he mysteriously was killed?
Yeah, it was an extremely efficient car, man.
Years ago.
You know why that happened, right? Because
of course, he made a water-propelled engine. Hell yeah!
Well, right, and think about it. The emission off of that is steam, which goes right back up into the atmosphere, and then it comes right back down as rain. So you're actually recycling
limitless.
Yes, limitless energy. So why are we sitting and going all these other routes when we could use water?
Water is definitely abundant too.
Yes,
Miss Jill said, "Oh yeah, she's going to get a Honda. Going to buy a Honda Cash. Honda's still a good. And I've never had a Honda, but I did have a Toyota and a Nissan. Those
excellent cars.
I had a Toyota Camry, dude. Back in the day, those were nice.
I had an '88 Camry and a 2002. What do you call it? A Nissan Sentra. Now the Nissan Sentra was good on gas. It was a 5-speed.
Yeah, my Camry was a 5-speed, dude. That thing was bad.
I used to drive a stick shift. Now Nate or English, do they still make manual transmission cars?
Very few.
Yes, they do.
Very few.
He is right about that. You know how back in the day, all the way up until I want to say about the mid-90s, standard. The reason why stick shift was called standard is because it was standard in a car. You had to request automatic in a car. Now it's the other way around.
I used to drive a stick shift, and I actually saved a lot on gas at 5-speed. Now I know there are no SUVs. The last one I saw that was somebody had one. It was a Ford, and this
are pickup trucks though.
Yeah, there's a lot of pickup trucks that are still manual.
Yeah.
I mean, has any one of you ever driven a manual car before?
Dude, yeah. And
I just not much, and I'm not going to claim to be good at it. Getting that synchronization between
it's really easy.
The clutch and the pedal is.
Nate, it's really easy.
That thing's going to buck on you.
You want to know what I learned how to drive a manual in? A 1988 Ford F-150.
Oh wow, having a stick shift that big old bitch. Wow.
Oh, dude, I'm gonna tell you what, dude. And that thing, it was, man, what he was saying. And I was 16. My dad's trying to teach me how to fucking drive it. And the first time I went to put it in drive and let up off that clutch, man, I let up off of it too slow. And that thing got to bucking back and forth, hopping and shit, dude. Yeah. My dad's head's bouncing off of the back of the truck. So he's reaching over and smacking me upside the head and shit.
Yeah, that happened to me. I was on the middle of, my dad had me on US 29 and I was, in Colombia. He said, no. I was bucking that car. He said, no. He was smacking me on the leg on the left leg and that clutch. But I
That 3 on the tree shit, that's a foreign language to most people nowadays.
Right. Now with this gas, now when was the last time it was $4 a gallon?
At the end of Obama's administration.
Mm-hmm.
I thought during Bush, during Katrina. Now
it didn't get up to 4.
No, it got up to like 253.
Yeah, and people were shocked at 250. Yeah.
Right.
Heck.
The only reason why I know it was 4 at the end of Obama's administration, it was actually the 2 years to the end of it, last 2 years of his administration. It's because I was driving a cab, and I had to spend money on gas, and that came out of my money. And at that time, dude, I was dropping like probably anywhere from $50 to $100 a night.
Now I got something to put out about this gas too now, and I want you all's opinion. I believe that this could be by design to get us. Okay, electric cars is one issue. What about public transportation? Because I don't know where. Well, Angry Snowman's here in Indiana, but I used Indianapolis, and you're in a pretty decent sized city, Nate. You know, they're building more and more apartments.
Coffin apartments is what they want.
Thank you.
Coffin apartments.
Now, why are they building more apartments? Are they trying to get us all to move back to the city?
They don't want home ownership. They don't want ownership of anything.
You're not going to own anything, and you'll like it.
Right, but all right. If let's say we all move back to the cities, okay? And
Not me.
Right, but what they want to do, don't you believe, even with the gas, that they all want us to get on mass transportation now? I don't know how it is down there where you are in South Carolina, but all we have in the city of Indianapolis, which is the biggest city here in Indiana, is the bus system. We don't have like Chicago, they got the L, Baltimore's got the light rail, DC, New York, Philadelphia, they all got subways. We don't have anything that good here. And
I'm glad we don't have subways in Naptown, man. Jesus, that'd be a nightmare.
For the most part, who rides all this stuff? The lunatics ride the mass transportation. You know,
you gonna say lunatics, right?
They do.
He was PC about it.
Not everybody's a lunatic on a bus.
Okay, about 80% of them.
Nate, you lived in New York. Come on, man.
Dude, I know. Yes.
I mean, would you want to get on a New York subway in Queens?
Hell no.
Dude, hell no. Dude, you don't even want to sit down on the seats in these things, man, let alone get on them and let your feet touch the floor.
Now, I admit, we were down in Atlanta, Nate. Now, they have, I think they have a train system down there.
Yes, they do.
I mean,
it's above ground, though. It's above ground.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't see all of them, but you can still get around. But how many people are really going to trade their cars in and ride for some mass transportation?
Well, this is a 100-year plan for the globalists.
It is,
and the neoliberal elite. Yeah, they've looked at 100. In 100 years, they want everybody in 200 square foot coffin apartments, living in cities in incredibly high rise tenement ghettos, and to be completely under control of whatever they say to do. If they tell you to put on a mask, you do it.
Holy
shit! Tell you to inject yourself with some foreign substance, you do it.
You just shocked the hell out of me, because I've heard you talk about a lot of things, but I've never heard you talk about this stuff before. So
the future stuff coming, yeah. On a lot of that, but it's coming. It's coming.
But I'm looking at it. I mean, because I went there. I mean, even close to Indianapolis, and even here, I'm like, wow, there's a lot of apartments going up. And now I do see some houses being built, but I don't.
Well, Leon, you know what they do in a lot of these apartment buildings too. What do they do? Like you said, they're coffin apartments, and what they do is they have, through the air ventilation systems and shit, they actually run like it's aerosol type antidepressant type drugs and mind altering drugs on people. That they actually have that shit in aerosol form that they actually run through the ventilation, so everybody in these apartments are all on the same page. They're all docile. They're all doing what they want.
And it's in in the water.
Yeah.
Oh,
they're not filtering our water properly. They putting that
Prozac and
silicate.
I had a buddy that worked for the water company over in Lima, and he said that he knew for a fact that they were putting shit like what is that? Prozac and some of these other antidepressants in the water.
Absolutely. The water is saturated with that shit.
And do you
I
know
mean, it's bad enough they got fluoride in it at levels that it's really toxic.
right? Because when
To the brain, to the human brain, it's
right,
incredibly toxic.
has any one of you seen this? Okay, you take a shower, and then after that, right around your shower head or in the tub, you start to see this brown stuff. I've actually seen that. I said, man, something's in this water, and some water is harder than others.
Yeah, they try saying that that's rust from the pipes, but I disagree.
Well, I gotta tell you, you're voicing your concerns about the apartments and stuff. That's why it's good to get consolidated. If y'all want to come back down south or come down south, you might want to consider it.
What's that?
We still building houses down here everywhere.
Still building houses now?
We're still building houses down here, bro. So
yeah, see, that's crazy because at one point,
come down south. Love that.
When I was in my 20s, they were building houses all around Indianapolis like crazy, and it's like it's fucking come to a halt.
Well, they're building some, but
is Indianapolis red or blue?
Indiana's supposedly a red state.
But no, Indianapolis. Like
Indianapolis, man. Well, I wouldn't even necessarily say it's blue. It flip flops back and forth depending on
purple.
Yeah,
you're right. Brother Nate, Indianapolis. Since I've been out here, that it is like the 16th or 17th largest city in the nation.
Really? I didn't know it was that big.
Oh, you look on it. It is.
If you go by population density, I think during the day when businesses are going, they say that there's a population of what is it, like 5 to 6 million people in Indianapolis every day.
Wow.
Oh, brother, Indianapolis is bigger than Atlanta. As Miss Jill there's a rent crisis.
5-6 million. Hell yes, triple the size of Atlanta.
Yeah, Indianapolis is the third largest city in the Midwest.
Yeah, there's more people that actually commute there to work, though.
Yeah, that is the only city, and then Milwaukee. We call it Kilwaukee, just like Chirac, all the crime.
Oh my god!
Oh yeah, you don't want to look. Me and Tommy Jean went to eat at to get some chicken out there at Popeyes, and you know where we had to go? In the hood, in that place, boy, in Milwaukee. Milwaukee's like
shit.
Where the cashiers curse you out.
I lived in the hood in Indianapolis.
Man, they didn't curse us out, but man, they certainly took a long time to deliver something. And
wow.
And now it is a red state. It is now. I will say about and even your state, I still believe that. Okay, a lot of your like blue state people, they're moving in North Carolina, not South Carolina, not yet. But
yeah, they're moving into Charlotte. Charlotte's blue right now.
Well, Charlotte, North Carolina
is blue.
Now, what's the city after that? You're in like if you go down 85, you're in Greenville, Spartan. Is that?
Yeah. If you're heading west from where I am, you're gonna go through Spartanburg, Greenville, small town called Anderson, right before you get to Georgia.
Oh, so we'll see. It hadn't happened. I don't. Most people, like from up north, they want to go to North Carolina because they've been told by
it's like Virginia too.
Dude, I'm
Northern
Virginia. Dude, I'm white and I ain't going to South Carolina. They'd lynch me there.
South Carolina is not. It depends on where you are in South Carolina. What is it?
South Carolina is an awesome state, man.
I heard.
Yeah, until you stroll into the wrong neighborhood.
I've been to just about every neighborhood as an auto damage appraiser. Trust me.
Now let me ask you
South
something.
Carolina is very, very nice place to be.
What do you think? Now, my dad lives in Tennessee. He lives in Nashville. He didn't live in Memphis. I heard about Memphis.
So I lived in Memphis for 3 years, man.
And how did you like Memphis?
It's rich, world, bro. It's rich in culture. It culinarily, the ribs, the barbecue, awesome. But man, I got to tell you, the black people in Memphis, I have never seen such a group of rundown human beings. Rundown meaning just like a lot of bad life decisions. Even the pretty girls like have bags under their eyes and walk hunched over.
Have you ever been to Lima, Ohio?
I've never been to Ohio.
Man, what you're describing sounds like Lima, Ohio. I swear to God.
Wow.
That's Youngstown, Ohio. I had family that lived in Youngstown, but it's funny because see the reason why too I brought up the gas because here in Indiana. A lot of the gas is produced here.
Oh, really? Wow.
Oh yeah, it's produced in.
It's refined there. Like
they have a BP refinery here.
Oh yeah, it's refined.
Hey, 411, and there ain't another. There's another one that ain't far from here that's in Lima. That's only 2 hours away from here. So you got two refineries.
Yeah, up
within
here.
2 hours of each other refining gas, and the one in Lima is a major.
And y'all are paying $4 in gas.
No, it used to be a BP. It's a Husky Oil now.
Okay, we have a BP now. I did hear, and you guys might have heard. I heard they were thinking about Jersey. God, I went to school in that dirty state. They were thinking about canceling Russian gas. There's a Russian gas station. I can't remember the name of it. It starts with a V. Valero. That's
because actually that's what the one in Lima is now, is Valero.
Yeah, we got Valero gas stations here in South Carolina. Yeah, I've seen.
We have a couple of them here, but they're not big. The biggest ones here are Marathons, which owns Speedway, but that was also bought out. Now when we talk about monopoly, 7-Eleven bought out Speedway, but they're going to be using Marathon gas. Isn't that something?
Huh?
It's owned by 7-Eleven, which is Southland Corporation out of Dallas, bought all the Speedway gas stations.
So they own Marathon Gas now.
Marathon sold it to them, but they're still using Marathon gas. So we have a lot of one of the things I've seen a lot of monopolies. Look at the cell phone industry, okay?
Just look at tech in general.
They're consolidating, yeah. Banks consolidating.
Right now, here, the banks are. I don't even have a bank.
Credit union.
I'm in NFCU, Navy Federal Credit Union.
Good deal.
We got Star Bank, dude, and I swear to God, I fucking hate that bank, dude. Every time I try, dude, I go to another state and try and use my bank card. All I got to do is make 2 purchases within 15 minutes of each other, and they shut my card down.
But we do have a lot of
text you first.
No.
Wow.
But we have we have some big banks like Fifth Third. That's one of our banks. BMO Harris.
Star Financial's big in Indiana because it's only in Indiana.
Yeah, we have Old National Bank. You're right, brother Nate. But the banks are buying other banks up, like the Big Kahuna. You might have a lot of them, brother Nate. Is what is that one? It's
Wells Fargo.
Wells Fargo.
Huntington.
What is it? Is it America? It's Bank of America.
Case of America.
In less than 10 years, I started banking when I started working with a bank called South Trust in the South.
I've heard of South Trust.
Yes, I banked with South Trust, and then within a 10-year period, I went from South Trust to Wachovia, then went from Wachovia to Wells Fargo. Not because I switched, but they just kept buying each other. I changed banks 3 times in less than 10 years.
But that's where I see the big problem is too. I mean, it is all by design. They want us to have less choice, less competition, and more control over us. And we're putting this information out, and it is guys like us who are likely to get canceled. And it's just another dumbing down of America. These individuals out here, they don't really care about what's going on until something really happens. Because you think about with cars. I heard the cost of cars is going up
through the roof.
Dude,
some of these cars are out insane. Good.
Some of these cars today are the cost of a brand new house in the fucking 80s.
Yeah, the new Ford F-150, not even the Raptor. Just the new Ford F-150 is almost $100,000.
Jesus.
I'm talking about the limited, the real exclusive with all the bells and whistles. It's almost $100,000.
Yeah, so imagine the note on that. What, $600-700 a month?
Oh, it's probably about $800 a month. I don't know who in their right mind would have an $800 car note. A lot of women do.
They do.
Yeah,
they have $800 car notes.
Now, Nate, with all that, now they might call you up for insurance. How much would a F-150 of that magnitude be insurance wise? Because you have to get full coverage, and this is what people
the insurance isn't going to be too crazy. I got a funny insurance story. I used to work for Geico.
Hey, don't crack on Geico. That's my insurance company.
That's yours. I used to work for Geico. You talked about how disgusting New Jersey is. For decades, Geico would not write any policies in New Jersey because of Newark and in Michigan because of Detroit. They completely gave up on those two states. They would not write policies. Before I left Geico, they just got back on board with writing policies in New Jersey.
I mean, well, have you seen people driving in Michigan? They're morons.
Well, it's the theft and the crime. That's what it is. It's just it's the scourge of crime.
Well, I know.
Which is why they don't write.
I went to school in Newark for grad school, New Jersey Institute of Technology, and it's a hellhole in Newark.
Jersey's disgusting. I don't know how anybody lives in New Jersey.
Blue is blue, brother.
Hey, it's the garbage state for a reason.
You notice all these states with all the bigger cities, the older cities. Brother Matt, he was supposed to come up here. It's a crap hole. He's from Camden, New Jersey, right across the Delaware.
Oh, horrible.
You ever heard of Camden? Oh, yeah, that's right. You're from.
I've seen documentaries on them places. You remember? Do you remember in the 90s just the scourge of carjackings in Newark and in Camden? That's all they were doing, and they even made a movie called New Jersey Drive. And it was all about stealing cars.
And Trenton and Atlantic City are very bad.
Yeah. Atlantic City's a dump. It is an absolute dump.
And yes, the car market has increased as well. And you know what? There's going to
the used car market is what she's talking about, because the used cars that you used to be able to get for $500-$600, now you're looking at $2-3 grand.
Now, and with the gas, you know what people are going to do? I've heard it. People are going to try to siphon some gas. It's not a smart.
Oh yeah, they steal gas. Absolutely.
Well, dude, and you ain't even got to use a hose like you used to back in the day. Now you can go to Walmart and buy a gas siphon.
Well, where are they going to siphon some gas from? I mean, because they don't even know
right out of someone's gas tank.
Well, that's why newer cars have locks. You have to unlock the gas cap from inside the car.
But we're talking about average Americans, the working class. How many people in the working class really have brand new cars?
Yeah, they're gonna.
And it's not just used cars prices. New cars have premiums on them, like popular new vehicles, like the Bronco.
Yes,
you can't get a Bronco MSRP from a dealer. You got to pay 10-20% above MSRP to get like a brand new hot car.
Yeah, especially if you're leasing it, man. And I think leasing a car is absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah,
it's the dumbest thing you could be convinced into doing.
You know,
I would never personally lease a vehicle. I hate paying notes. I don't even.
Same here, dude.
You know what, brothers? I do, and we bought this, and it was my.
Well, I'm not trying to say you're dumb, but
it was my dumb decision. Okay, I'm gonna put it out there. I'm putting it out there. Bought this Buick Encore. We drove it down. I wish I'd gone to normally I buy cars with no note on them. I hate notes.
Yeah, I buy cash too, though.
Listen, bro, you're gonna laugh at me, and I've had some people laugh at me. When I buy cars, I know how to find low mileage used cars that are 15 years old, and I would pay for them outright and be done with it. And we've already had, and brother Nate, I already told when I was on your panel. Guess what? So you'll know, all that work that we got done, it wasn't even under warranty. It was all maintenance. I had to go. I took it to a Buick dealer, and they're going to be charging you a lot of money. You know how much they charged me for a diagnostic test? $200. Then they charged me an additional $400 for some spark plugs and some coils.
Well, you have to understand their mechanical rate is
$60 an hour flat rate.
It's going to be $150, almost $200, especially if you got a BMW Mercedes. It is $200 an hour. Whatever.
I don't even have that.
I used to be a mechanic at a Ford dealership, and shop hours at a Ford dealership, you're starting at $60 an hour right off the rip.
Yep. And and the funny thing about, I still, according to them, have to get some rotors. Okay. Now I used to. They won't even let me do work outside my apartment. I know how to throw some rotors on. I know how to throw some brakes on, and it used to
be.
You
can't change your oil outside of your apartment or something?
Hell no.
Oh,
man,
wow.
When I lived in Portage, I didn't get reprimanded for it, but people were throwing oil in the dumpster, brother.
Oh, gotcha.
Now, what I
Yeah,
used
that's
to do,
stupid.
now
Don't
what I used to
dispose of
do,
it properly.
what I used to do with my oil when I changed it in an apartment, I had a bucket for it, and I took the bucket right on the advanced auto.
Yeah,
And
you can dispose of it there.
Well, just so other people know, in case you don't, here's another thing. If you do your oil changes yourself, you can actually take it to dealerships, and dealerships will take your used oil from you too. They have a bin specifically for used oil that they send back to the oil refineries.
and that oil is probably refined as that like advanced auto oil. Miss Jill, I can't see why people lease if they want to switch. I can see why people. My mom used to do that. I never agreed with that. We got in arguments about that.
But
Personally,
the problem with leasing, though, man, is the penalties that you face if you get so much
Mileage
as a
penalties are
stain or you
out
go
of
over
this
mileage.
world.
And then if you ever looked at the option to buy, you know, after you do your 2 years lease, you get the option to buy, but you got to buy the damn thing at the fucking price that it was when you went to lease it, like you never paid a dime on it.
so you're really throwing a lot of money away because
Right.
so basically
But on a $200,000 McLaren, that you know, it might even make sense to lease. To be honest with you, like those incredibly expensive vehicles that you don't plan to keep, you know, past their brand newiness. It actually might make more sense to lease it, and then if you're wealthy, you can pay the note, and then in 3-4 years you just give it back.
And man, for me, there's a sense of pride knowing that I ran a car so hard that I ran it in the dirt and no one will ever drive it again.
I know my dad. He just got rid of the van, and we talked about the gas too. Yeah, I said, well, because I forgot when he bought that van. I said he had a blue van. I said, when did you buy that van? Oh, I bought it in '95, brand new. And I said, how long did you have it? My dad is one who will keep a car for 20 years. The only reason why he got rid of that car because he hit a deer. And he says there's no reason. And this is why he and my mom didn't, because my dad is one that does not believe in car payments. He hates car payments.
Yeah, every man does.
I hate car payments are horrible. Debt is slavery, period. Debt is slavery.
That's why they call it debt slavery.
Right. It is. And do you know that some car dealers, I had a guy was in a Seabees with, and he took him some cash to a car dealer. They didn't take it from him.
What?
They do tend to look at you funny.
Well, he didn't. No, it was in Alexandria, Virginia. He said, "No, we can't. You got to finance this car." They wanted him to finance the car instead of buying the car.
Well, if it's a buy here, pay here, that's how they make the majority of their money, through financing and charging you 21% interest.
Oh yeah, but not only that. Sometimes because you got to watch the warranties that you get on these cars too.
Well, there's power in cash, and these places understand that. And when you have cash,
you can negotiate down the price.
Yeah, you can negotiate like a mofo, especially when they start seeing you counting $100 bills out on their desk and they know you're serious.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they might look at you when you get a bunch of $100 bills from when you
don't matter to me. I don't care where you got it from.
Yeah, they're gonna think you've been slinging dope, hash.
No, I didn't ask you what you did for it.
I just know. But you guys are right about that, man. With the dealerships not liking cash, I've had a dealership actually. They didn't want me to use cash, but they didn't have no problem with me putting it on a credit card and paying it off.
No, they didn't have a problem. I put mine on a credit card too, but.
Yeah, and then turn around and take that cash and pay the credit card bill off.
But you want to know something though too? If you pay with a credit card, sometimes they'll charge you a % on that credit card because they're charged a percentage if you use a credit card too, man. 2.75 or 3% of that value. So you buy a car for $10,000, they're going and you use a credit card. Yeah, you paying the car all off, but you paying more than that value. And then what about the 3 T's? You know what the 3 T's are? Tax, tags, and title.
Oh, you mean the taxing of liberties?
Well, no. The biggest problem, from a guy that's involved in the industry, is the dealer fee. Just $500 for the dealer fee. Almost everywhere. $500 for the dealer fee, for the paperwork and the logistics of getting the car there and all that shit. Like $500.
Just for the luxury and joy of being able to talk to some guy and have him
dealer
put your name
fee,
on a piece of paper.
$500. It happened. They didn't charge you a dealer fee?
You know, I gotta look at my paperwork.
You know what? Every
Look
time
at your paperwork, dog. I swear they charge you a dealer fee.
Every time I ever went to one of those used car dealerships and bought a car outright, I never got charged a dealer fee.
Yeah. If you have sense, you can negotiate it down. But I swear to God, like they always try to charge a dealer fee, and it's usually $500
starting out.
Yeah, dealerships don't like you to pay cash. This is from Miss Jill. I used to work. She used to see you, brother Nate, and you all know about this stuff. So when I go and get my next car or something, I got to know this information because
you holler at your boy first.
I'm thinking. I don't know, man. I always, when I go get a car, I always think I'm getting a deal, but then I always
until you get home.
Yeah, then I feel like I've been bent over the sofa, and you know what happens after that.
You end up with buyer's remorse from hell.
You know what? I'm pro-America and buy American, but when it comes to cars, man, the Japanese, the Germans, except for BMW, have just
I'm not a BMW.
Yeah, I'm a man of VWs and those Yugos. Dude, Yugos, you realize a Yugo's motor ain't broke in until about 200,000 miles?
No,
the brand new car for $39.95. Wow.
I'm gonna tell you though, my dad had a few, and you know I drove it too. You know, people laughed at me when I said this. The last real one they made was in '77. It was that Volkswagen Beetle. That bad boy lasts forever.
You guys are a little bit
old. The Volkswagen buses are still.
Oh, my dad had a '74, and he traded it in, but that bad boy, he traded it in. I said, "Why'd you trade it in?" And he traded it in for a 1980 Dodge van, and that thing was still good. The person the dealer that he sold it to, he called the person up. That car was still good for another 10 years until 90. And it was a 74.
You guys are older cats too, man. I'm sure you guys remember the old Mercedes that they used to make back in I think it was the late 70s, early 80s. That was it was a 5-speed, but it was diesel.
Yeah. Those older diesel vehicles are known for their dependability. Absolutely.
The Volkswagen Rabbit was also diesel. Miss Jill said,
the Chevy Love was too, the Chevy Love pickup truck.
Yeah. And any Buick that had the 3800 motor in it. Those older Buicks, the Park Avenue, the LeSabre had that 3800 engine. If you're looking for a cheap used car and you can find some old lady that has a Buick with that 3800 engine, you're made in the shade. That thing will run for 400,000 or 500,000 miles.
The old Buick Riviera.
Brilliant engineering.
I remember the Buick Riviera. Now, Miss Jill says it is harder to upsell you on extended warranties and trinkets when you pay cash. Financing is a way to bend you over. You know what? That's true. I rarely ever finance a car, so I never had to deal with warranties. See, a lot of things, guys, well, brothers, I could get in there and fix myself. I mean,
yep.
Has any one of you had to change your own oil?
Dude, I don't pay a mechanic to do shit.
You know what?
Period.
Well, I do have to say this. A move toward the electric vehicle also is going to be a windfall for dealerships because you're not going to be able to do anything on it. There's no engine. There's nothing but batteries.
Electricians will be able to fix them.
Well, see, with this electric car, and I don't know much about them, how far can you go on that thing before you got to charge it?
Today 2022 models coming out have an average of about 300 miles. Some even have averages of 500 miles, which is impressive.
It is.
It's pretty impressive.
I was going to say, didn't Tesla say that he has one coming out where it should be able to make it from California to damn near like Illinois or Indiana before it needs to be filled back up?
Yeah, but how long is
I'm not sure.
Because I do see some charging stations out here. Myers, our grocery stores, has them. Downtown Indianapolis has them. I do see some, and something else. Whatever happened to that ethanol? Remember,
it's at every gas station.
Corn, yeah, ethanol.
They have them. They still have the ethanol being sold at gas stations. But the thing with that, with the E85 that they were selling was, I don't know how they managed to do it. But if you recall, the way they sold it was supposed to be cheaper than regular gas initially, and it ended up being more. and it ended up actually being more expensive than regular gas. It ended up falling like in between gas and diesel prices. And that's
do you know why?
Because of the refinement process.
But isn't ethanol corn?
Yeah,
It is corn. It's corn.
Yeah, so you got government involvement, this surplus goddamn corn that they have to, and initially when they launched it, yeah, it's cheaper, but anything that involves government, the costs are going to go insane, and now it's useless. More evidence of government bullshit.
And all this stuff in here, I know there's some states. When I lived in Pennsylvania, we had to get emissions inspections every year, and I had 2 cars. It was like almost $100 per inspection. Now, I said, well, what's with this emissions? Because we also had it here in Indiana, only in 2 counties though. When I lived in Porter County and Lake County, Indiana, we have 92 counties here in Indiana, and 2 counties, because they're near Chicago, have to get emissions tested. And I said, you mean you gotta get your O2 sensors, whether upstream or downstream, they check your catalytic converter, all that crap. And salute to you, Miss Jill. She's on her way to the gym. Happy Sunday. But do you have emissions testing down there, Nate?
No emissions tests in South Carolina. That's why I love living down south. Governor McMaster not only took away the registration fee for open carry, it was $50, I believe. Took it all, gone. Now, around when he's up for re-election, there's rumors of him getting rid of the registration fee. Your annual tag fee.
You should. That's fucking taxing someone's liberties, man. That's fucking unconstitutional shit.
Yeah, how do you tax me every year on my car? I paid taxes when I bought it.
Well, some counties here in Indiana got a wheel tax.
Wheel tax? What the hell is that?
That's where I know what that is, because Ohio does that. It's where counties can put on an extra fee on top of your registration. It's basically taxing a tax.
That's some blue state stuff. 411. What's going on in Indiana? 411. Goddamn.
They do it in Ohio everywhere, man. Because I remember the first time they did it to me, I looked at the lady. I was like, "How the hell are you justifying taxing a tax?"
Isn't that the Rust Belt? I thought these supposed to be conservative states.
Well, those are the counties up there, Nate, near Chicago, Porter and Lake County.
Okay, gotcha.
Anything outside of Chicago. Now here they don't, because by the way, those 2 counties, Lake and Porter County, are unionized too. They get a lot of big union donors and everything up there. Now, you go to LaPorte County, you go to St. Joe County. No.
I'll tell you why Ohio's doing it. Ohio's going broke ever since Clinton was in office and he brought that whole fucking NAFTA bill in. Ohio has been going broke. Ohio got hit hard by NAFTA, dude. I remember when that bill got signed, within a matter of a year, like a good third of the revenue and businesses that was in that state picked up and went to Mexico.
Yeah, you got a lot of that. In the chat, if you can, would you like, share, and subscribe to the Angry Snowman's channel? And of course, Nate Dogg 74. Nate Dogg 74 is streaming today. I'm gonna be on that stream too. We're gonna kick out more of this information because we're the only ones on YouTube who are doing it. Many other people are still talking about trendy stuff.
You know what, Leon? I would like to see somebody actually start doing streams every now and again where they talk about the positive things that are going on. Because nobody ever talks about the positive anymore. It's all negative shit.
Well, we're just trying to, all of us, like me, you, Nate, we all, look, I'll tell you something that is positive. And although I'm not a Republican, I guarantee you.
Are we losing Holcomb this year?
Yeah. Who's your governor?
Let me ask y'all a question real quick. What kind of governor was Kasich? I get real rhino vibes.
Kasich was a rhino in Ohio.
Oh no, he was a rhino. He was out of Ohio.
Kasich was a rhino. Gotcha.
He was also a congressman.
Yeah. That's how he started out.
Oh, John Kasich. Yeah. Oh yeah.
He was a very popular governor of Ohio. People were talking about him for president.
John
Kasich was actually our governor when Trump was.
He was running for president,
and he was incredibly anti-Trump.
Oh, he was yeah.
The only thing to save Kasich, honestly, from a bunch of fucking media bullshit or a bunch of Ohio bullshit was when everybody tried to push him to restrict Ohio's constitutional carry or open carry laws for the RNC. Everybody tried to get him to recall that for that week that the RNC was in Cleveland, and he said, "Yeah, that ain't happening in Ohio. Do you want a whole riot in the state to start?"
Yeah, Nate, Ohio is a funny. I think Ohio is a purple state.
It is. It
Really?
is. Yeah.
Sometimes now the last two elections, Ohio leaned red, but Ohio leaned because think about Ohio.
If
now,
you want to call DeWine red, I mean, come on, dude. I mean, I ain't even calling him purple. He ain't no rhino. He is a literal Democrat that just said he was a Republican, and people believed him.
I mean, it's like Pennsylvania. When I lived in Pennsylvania, brother, Pennsylvania went blue all the time. And if you looked at the map of Pennsylvania, most of the red was in four
rural areas.
No, most of
rural, yeah.
The blue was in. I'll tell you where they were.
Pittsburgh, Philly,
Pittsburgh, Philadelphia, Harrisburg, and in the Allentown area.
Just like
those four areas got the Democrats elected, but the rest of the state was red.
Just like Ohio, man. You got Cleveland, Columbus, Cincinnati. Youngstown, and Dayton. Dayton and Akron are all red state, or all blue areas, and then the rest of it's all.
Don't forget the toilet bowl, Toledo.
Oh man,
toilet bowl.
Dude, I've given the toilet bowl to fucking Michigan years ago.
Wow.
We just call that the French version of the toilet bowl, the toilet known as Detroit.
The toilet.
Detroit. You know, and speaking of Detroit, you know, they were after Motown, Barry Gordy left. I mean, he started Motown in Detroit and he got out of Detroit. So that tells you about Detroit. It hasn't been the same since.
Well, I think there's like 100 and some counties in Ohio, and it's like, I think not 85 to 90% of the counties in Ohio all lean red, but the ones that lean blue are all in the major metropolitan areas where it's got the highest population density, you know, and that's why people don't understand why a properly ran electoral college is necessary for a free and fair election.
Now, Brother Nate, you guys got to get on the ballot down there in South Carolina. And I'm a
Oh my God, I ain't got no time to get on no ballot, bro.
No. If you guys I hope they vote for it because you want to make more money. I'm a civil engineer, and they got the I-74 project that they're trying to work on. It goes all the way from Iowa, stops in Cincinnati, but they're supposed to continue I-74 from Cincinnati. I mean, they're already ready to build it in West Virginia and the rest of Ohio, but it's coming down into what is that, Myrtle Beach? It's coming down there.
Wow.
Well,
coming to Myrtle Beach?
It's
what is it going to be, a straight shot from East Coast to West Coast?
I would be able, if I wanted to go down to Myrtle Beach, all I would have to do is right from Indianapolis, get right on 74, and I go straight to Myrtle Beach. 73 is another one. They're working on building that one. Or I think it might be 74, or it might even be 73. It's one of those interstates that we will be able to drive from the Midwest to Myrtle Beach, South
Carolina. They're wanting to do it like they do 75, where you can take 75 from the top of Ohio straight to the bottom of Florida.
Well, when I went to Atlanta, I took 74 and went around 275 and got on 75, and that took me right into Atlanta. But road projects are very important too, and that's another thing too. When you mess with gas, that messes up a lot of road projects, because guess what? When they're out there paving and they're laying concrete down, those trucks need gas.
Well, look, you know how they're going to curb that, right? They're going to start turning all these interstates into toll roads.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Dude, you're seeing toll roads pop up in the South, so it's over. It's fucking over.
Yeah, because you know what? You know where the tolls are? Believe it or not. Now, I lived in Maryland. We had Pennsylvania had toll roads. We even got one here in Indiana called the Indiana East-West.
Up there by Gary and shit, right?
Yeah, 80, 90. And then because when I go to my mom's house when I was living in Portage, I had to pay tolls in 3 states, Pennsylvania. I had to travel the whole Ohio Turnpike.
Oh Jesus, you got raped on tolls, dude.
And even with Easy, and I got Easy Pad. Oh yeah, they're going to Nate. You might have some tolls coming down there on.
Well, there are, but I still have the option to not take the toll road. In a place like Miami, you're just driving down the road. There's no toll vendor like in the old states. The old, like in the blue states, you have some lady. You wait in line, you go through the toll, you pay her, or you throw the change in.
Now.
Yeah, you throw the change in the bucket. But in Miami, you just drive. And AI takes a picture of your license plate. You get a bill. You get a fucking bill in the mail.
See, I don't get a bill.
That's how they do it on the 80/90 now.
You get a fucking bill in the mail.
I don't get a bill because I got a transponder that when
we're talking about us normal people that don't get on toll roads daily.
Well, what's gonna happen with that is and being a civil engineer, because I thought about that too with all this gas and everything. How much an axle a truck has to pay when they go through a toll? That's a lot of money. Especially, I know Matt Coley, who was supposed to be on, he didn't come up. He has to drive up into New York City. You know how much it costs to get in to New York
Jesus
City?
Christ, dude, that's fucking astronomical.
Well, I mean, when I went there in a car, you know how much it cost? Now, I'm looking at 2012 and 2013. It was $13 to get into New York City.
Wow.
And now you got the Lincoln Tunnel, you got the George Washington Bridge, you had the Goethals Bridge, you had all the bridges. The cheapest way to go, you had to go all the way up the Palisades Interstate Parkway, cross at that time the Tappan Zee, which was $5, and then come back down, but you still wasted a lot of gas. And
so, which way's really more affordable than?
I'm going to say you're going to have to go through the tunnel, but then the tunnels are always back. The East Coast is horrible. I lived on the East Coast.
Absolutely horrible. And you speak of like the effect of gas on people. We haven't even talked about the hundreds of thousands of Uber and Lyft drivers. This gas.
Oh, that's right.
Not just them. Look at all the like DoorDash and Uber Eats and all that.
Yeah,
shit,
all
man.
these guys. Yeah, it's slicing into their profits tremendously.
And that's true. So that means we're going to have to pay. We're going to have to pay more now. On my job I have now, I even talked to my boss. I said, well, with gas going up, we're only getting 44 cents a mile. They might have to raise that to about 60 cents a mile or something. Yeah. We're going to use our vehicle. See, it's cutting all the profit. And
I hope all you communists are happy with what you've done.
I told anybody who voted for Joe Biden, and I hope
which is like
isn't it how
80+% of Black America?
Well, isn't it funny how they try to backtrack and say, well, presidents don't their policies don't affect gas prices. They do when he shuts down a fucking pipeline, you morons.
Oh yeah, they shut that right there. Now in 2020, I know we had the Rona, but I was still paying about $1.50.
Dude, like I said, at the beginning of that, I saw gas as cheap as 88 cents a gallon when we were at the beginning of that shutdown. And I swear to God, I wanted to go to my fucking General Assembly and strangle everyone in there. Everyone.
Because how is that? How could that be? The fewer that goes against the laws of economics. That
sure does.
It was a slap in everyone's face.
How do you lower the price on something when fewer people are utilizing it?
You know why, Nate? Because they didn't have as many people were staying home, living off them government benefits, so they weren't going to work. So
I don't even think it was that. You're giving them the benefit of the doubt, Leon. I think it was a big fuck you to the American people. Is what it was.
Well, I mean, I indirectly said that, yeah.
Oh,
I mean, but that's what that's why we got to keep putting more and more information out about this, because I know Reg did it, and I'll put something up. I'm gonna see if I can share it. And
I'm gonna tell you what though, if a guy would have actually put some money into oil futures when gas was running 90 some cents a gallon at the beginning of coronavirus, right now they would be millionaires.
I put something up. You might be able to see it. It's about. I'm only using one. I haven't gotten advanced yet, brothers, but
No, no problem. No problem.
I'm only using this. Economy adds a whopping 678,000 jobs in January.
That's a lie.
I wanted you all to see that because that's what I thought.
Do you know what they're doing?
That they're taking jobs that are now accepting people back from the shutdowns and saying jobs.
So let me ask you something. If as a small businessman, I had 10 employees before the corona, they all got laid off, and I hire them back, that's 10 new jobs?
No,
Yep.
that's not.
That's not 10 new jobs.
That's what the government's saying, so it has to be true.
But some people actually believe that. I'm like, okay, and then you look at because of Ukraine.
Ukraine's racist.
Well, what are a barrel of gas is topping $110 a barrel, man.
Well, don't they sell it by the liter in Ukraine too?
Yeah, well, yeah, they sell it by we're not in the metric over here, no, but I just had to put that out of there because I'm looking at everything about this jobs bill that 678,000 jobs, and I know that was a lie.
Well, let's address this unemployment lie too. The unemployment rate, the only reason why it's going down is because nobody can report something that's not being filed because everybody's exhausted their unemployment benefits.
Now, this is from U.S. News, but you see, if you can see it, the unemployment rate dipped to 3.8%. Now, this was pretty recent, as of March 4th, 2022. You can see it up here.
With all the jobs that were lost during Corona, how the hell is the unemployment rate going down?
Because, like I said, all these people that were getting the extended unemployment benefits, a lot of them that like Indiana, they cut theirs off. Finally cut all that extended off. What was it, 8-9 months ago?
Yeah, they cut it off. They cut it.
They can't report it now. And if people aren't filing for unemployment, you can't report unemployment rates if nobody's filing unemployment saying they're unemployed.
But going back here, let me share something else too. As I got it up, the gas. I mean, I'm looking at this has everything about the gas, and I'm going to show you some of the high.
Leon, last week was nuts with our gas prices. 3 days in a row, the gas went up by 20 cents.
Well, if you look at it, several states have already surpassed the average of $4 per gallon. Now, I got them right here. These are for the most. These are for the most part all blue states, brother Nate.
Of course.
Hawaii, $4.66. Oregon. I don't know if you guys can see this. I blew it up. Nevada, Washington, Alaska's a red state.
It's funny to hear the media talk. This is only going on in red states where people drive big ass.
No, I got it right. I got it right here. This is from USA Today. Got it right here. Pennsylvania, $4. New York, $4.05. Alaska's the only red state.
Well, gas is always expensive in Alaska.
Pennsylvania in the last election was a red state.
It still is. I don't care what their lie is.
Yeah, Pennsylvania is a red state, dog. Don't believe that.
Well, Pennsylvania did, but if you look at it, and I'm going to go again and put up what we see the occurrence a year ago. You can see what I'm saying. It was 270. This is average now. Gas was $2.75.
2 years ago, though, it was even cheaper than that.
Yeah, and this is just a per average of this is unleaded regular. Okay, a month ago it was $3.44. A week ago, and this is holding true because a week ago here it's $3.60.
That's like a 30-some% jump in price.
Right, and then it went up to $3.73, $3.84. Current average right now is $3.92. Now Nate's down the station. What is it? You said $3.60. It's running down there.
Don't quote me on it because again, I don't pay that much attention to it. But yeah, I think it's like $3.50, $3.60.
Now, look, I'm here to tell you, I'm sure that you and Nate both know that economists have been predicting this hyperinflation for probably about 2 decades now. And I think that played a lot into why we saw what happened the last 2 years. That way they could find a way to excuse it away and the excuse not fall back on them.
We're talking. Now here's where I don't believe this. This article says, "Oh, we could be topping $4 per gallon by Memorial Day." Now it's already $4 a gallon.
Oh, I see it at $4.55. They're going to capitalize like a motherfucker. That's a traveling holiday, barbecues, cookouts, beaches, all that shit.
Well, California, do you already know? And I'd have to get more from Reg. They've already topped $5 out there. Now, notice I said this was regular gas though. It wasn't what we have. I use regular. Now you imagine what Supreme and all that is going to be, how much we're going to be paying. That's a problem.
That's going to be like, you know how some people are paying a third of their paycheck to fill up their SUV. Hell, you might as well just fucking put that whole motherfucker in there. You're getting fucking premium.
My son has a Tahoe, and my son has a Tahoe, and all he does.
A new one?
And I'm losing money, Dad. I'm losing money. I'm paying so much in gas. $50 every 2 to 3 days.
Wait a minute. Let me ask you something. Is that bigger? Now, Tommy Jean had a Suburban. Is that bigger than the Suburban? Or no, that's the next.
No. The Tahoe's smaller than Suburban.
Yeah,
it's before a Suburban.
Does that got a V6 or a V8 in it?
Oh, it's V8 all the way. V8's all the way.
Because I know my V8's killing me right now.
Oh yeah, it's terrible.
How much gas is he putting in that Tahoe?
He'll only put like 25 at a time, but it'll take.
It sounds like
that's me, dude. I won't put no more than $30 in my fucking Crown Vic when I go there now. And then I'm babying the throttle the whole time, man. Trying like hell not to speed.
Well, now, Tommy Jean told me that when it gets, because she knows more about this than me. She had a Suburban. Okay, I don't know how she got around in the Suburban. You talking about a gas hauler, man? I mean,
that's like driving a Hummer around. You get like 2 gallons, or what is it? 2 miles to a gallon in one of those things.
Now on like a extended road trip, it's not that bad, but man, city driving,
you get like 4 miles to the gallon on the highway.
Listen, I had a Chevrolet Blazer. You know what the Blazer is? They used to make that
4-door, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I was complaining when the gas went up on that car, and that had
that's a V6.
Yeah, not the Trailblazer, but the Blazer, and that was putting some gas in that car. And
you mean the full size Blazer from the 90s?
It had 4 doors.
It had 2 doors, but it was like a Tahoe, but with only 2 doors.
No, this was 4 door. Has anyone seen the GMC Jimmy? It looked just like that.
Yeah. But those are smaller trucks.
That's what I had. The Blazer. The Jimmy is the GMC version of the Blazer.
Gotcha.
And at that time I was pumping gas and because around 2008 the gas went up again when Obama got in. And I was pumping a lot of gas, and that had like a 17-gallon tank. Okay,
bro. I used to drive around in one of the old school Dodge Durangos that had the big 5.9 liter V8 in it.
Good God Almighty,
dude! You want to talk about shitty gas mileage? In the city, you were lucky if you got 7 miles to a gallon. On the highway, I was getting 13 miles to a gallon on a good day. It used to cost me $30 to $40 just to drive from Lima to Fort Wayne.
And how do gas prices affect people's car purchases?
Oh,
I'm not buying a goddamn Tahoe or a Suburban.
Dude, if I would have
88 cents a gallon, I would.
Well, I'm going to tell you this. If I would have anticipated gas prices skyrocketing like this, I would have never bought a Crown Vic with a V8 that had a fucking 22-gallon gas tank on it.
Are you driving the Crown Vic now?
Damn.
That's what the cops used to use.
Hell yeah, I'm driving a Crown Vic, dude. It's funny at night coming up on people and watching them fucking hit the brakes and slow down because they think I'm a cop.
That's all young black men buy in the South, if they can't afford the Challenger or the Charger, they get a Crown Vic or a Grand Marquis.
Are you stereotyping me, sir?
Certainly. That's all these young, like these young hood black guys drive, or Crown
Hey, look,
Vics,
I've gotten so much shit from the Hood Conservative and Trey and SKC and all them because I'm a white dude driving a Crown Vic.
I'm telling you, black guys love the Crown Vic.
So do I, dude. They're fast, man. I love them cars.
They love them.
Wow.
But I don't understand why the young black kids like them so much, man. I think they'd have like some kind of PTSD from being in the backseat of a fucking Crown Vic.
Oh, talk about who's stereotyping.
Well, I'd say a pleasant good afternoon to Celine. Welcome to the chat and the poll question. I know Nate's going to do a poll question on his chat. I got 16 votes, 17 votes. Is the United States headed for a recession? 94% yes, 6% no.
I think we've been in a recession, Leon. We never got out of it.
Yeah.
Just, the will of Trump. I mean, if we had a president that would genuinely put the American worker first, American industry first,
wouldn't that be wonderful?
Where the strength of Trump's economy came from.
Yeah, but even with that, man, I still question some of his motives. You know what I'm saying? On what he did. I mean,
I'll be honest, I don't give a shit if he did some crooked shit to benefit himself. I don't give a fuck.
Right. I feel you, man. I feel you. But the one thing that I do give a fuck about is that $6.4 trillion fucking debt that debt note that he signed for all of us that we have to pay back.
Yeah. Was that after COVID?
No, that was the original, the first COVID package, $6.4 trillion.
Yeah, but that's what I meant. Is it after COVID started?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, it was a COVID package, yeah.
I just didn't understand it, because it'd have been a different story if they actually took the money and they used it on the American economy. But what was it, like maybe 5% of it went to Americans and trying to stimulate the American economy. The other 95% of it all went to corporate and foreign interests, and we got to pay that shit back.
Yeah, and we're going further and further in the debt, and most Americans.
I mean, what's the point in having a debt ceiling if they could just vote to raise it anyhow?
Well, it's funny. Now, what if we had done something what if we were running a deficit in our own lives?
We lose our company.
You don't have access to print money, so
well,
it doesn't help us at all. I mean, when you can print money, dog, it's not backed by anything, so
But what I'm saying, it's funny. Guys like us know how to budget money.
You have no choice but to learn how to do it. Otherwise, you're going to end up in the poorhouse.
I mean, I know we talk about living the American dream. I just talking about navigating myself through
life.
Well, as I get a little older, I'm looking at a lot of this stuff here in America. Love that. Look, I served it for 17 years. So I couldn't live in a better country. It's not America. It's a number of the people in this America who have been liars and deceivers.
Not the America we were raised in, Leon.
Right. And I know you brought it up, Angry Snowman, Nate brought up a lot of monopolies. I mean, I look at my cable company. I got Comcast.
Well, dude, I've looked into that. You realize like Comcast and Spectrum and all, there's the three major ones. Do you realize that they actually have contracts with each other, that they draw lines in the country to where one cable or internet company won't offer cable or internet services in this area, is so that the other one won't offer it in their area. That way they have the opportunity to literally monopolize on whole fucking areas.
But look at the cell phone industry. There used to be Sprint. I know AT&T tried to buy Sprint during the Obama administration. They said no, but what happened? T-Mobile bought Sprint. Okay. Now you only have 3 cell phone companies, providers. And
and they're all owned by Soros, Rockefeller, and whoever the other one is. It all goes back to the tiny hats, bro.
Not right. And now you might see these little ones like Metro PCS and Cricket. You know who owns those? Well, Cricket is owned by AT&T. Metro
PCS is owned by Verizon.
No, Metro PCS is owned by T-Mobile now.
Is it?
Yep.
It's the illusion of competition.
And Time Warner.
Right.
Time Warner, don't they own Verizon now?
Who does?
Time Warner. I thought they owned Verizon.
No, Time Warner
owns AT&T.
Owned by AT&T.
Yeah, that's right.
Because they bought AT&T, my bill went up. And you know who Time Warner used to own? CNN.
And you know who owns them? Ted fucking Dirty Face Turner.
Well, Time Warner, who was owned by Ted Turner down in Atlanta, sold that to AT&T. But you still look at CNN being on the air. I thought with AT&T they were going to change it.
I'll be honest with you. When it comes to neoliberal globalists, Ted Turner, I'll take the Ted Turners over the Soroses any day.
I agree with you, man. I agree, but at some point, we got to agree that we got to get out of this, siding with the lesser of two evils shit, because even though one's lesser, you're still dealing with evil.
Well, I mean, if America can be convinced that what happened on January 6th was an
Don't get me started, dude. Don't get me started.
If they can equate 9/11 with January 6th, these sick leftist Marxist nightmares in the media.
Look, little big day.
Dude, I'll be honest. I'm starting to think, do we deserve this? All the hell that comes down, do we deserve it?
Well, look, Nate, that's what I'm saying. January 6th it was a farce. Just like, look, the Michigan thing with the governor of Michigan. I got to go testify Tuesday over that.
Oh, wow.
And, I'm actually a fucking witness for the defense for the governor Gretchen Whitmer fucking plot, and all of that, 9/11, the Michigan thing, fucking all this was, I'm going to tell you what, it's all connected, all of it.
Now, something else that was down too, and I work in the, civil engineering and construction industry. Look at the price of lumber.
Jesus Christ, dude. Have you tried to go buy a 2x4 now?
That's why the new house prices are so insane. The materials are through the roof.
Yeah.
And a 2x4 ain't even a 2x4 anymore.
No, actually, when you deal with it, and let me tell people about that. You're never getting a real 2x4. You're getting a 1.5 by 3.25. Three. Yeah. You're getting everything. It's not they try to charge you by the board foot. It's actually nominal fee. Okay.
And then on top of that, they're using the shittiest quality wood you could possibly think of.
Yeah, they are. Stuff that when you look at these houses too, they cost a lot. But if you get mad, you can put your fist through, because they're not built with plaster. They're built with sheathing. The sheetrock is horrible.
That'll compromise the structure of your house.
Yeah.
Bro, I'm going to tell you what, man. It's ridiculous. The house, it's like I said earlier, even all the way down to even your homes, dude. No quality and workmanship anymore. Nothing is built out of quality. It's built with the intention to fall apart, fail, and have to be replaced.
A lot of cars are built that way today. Like, they're built just to be thrown away once you have a semi-serious accident.
Dude, everything is, man. Christ, look at these fucking TVs people are paying thousands for, when I still have the TV I had when I was in high school.
You have a tube television?
Absolutely, bro. I have a few of them.
Man, I haven't seen one of those. I mean,
wow, I haven't seen one of those in forever, dog.
Yeah, it's even got the UHF and VHF dial knobs on it.
But look at even we talk about all this gas. This gas also affects the supply chain. Now, you go into your grocery store. Now, hey, Nate, what grocery stores do you have down there? I know up here we got Kroger, we got Meijer. The big one we got is Kroger. Okay.
Gotcha. We got Harris Teeter, Bi-Lo, and Publix. Those are the three.
Okay. We also have a few other ones in like Northwest Indiana.
Well, if you recall, we used to have Marsh all over Indiana too, but they went out of business. Bankrupt.
And of course, the monster of all monsters, Walmart. You know.
Oh yeah,
Monster and Meyer, or Walmart and Meyer, dude. The two fighting monsters.
And the funny thing about it is here, they're building a lot of restaurants, but they can't get people in to work in the current restaurants. Like they're building 2 Popeyes.
And they're offering $15 an hour to start.
Well, look, my wife, she's a assistant store manager for Kohl's. So she does a lot of the fucking interviews for shit. You want to know what she had some girl tell her yesterday in a job interview?
What?
That this is an employee's market right now. So they can go in and basically do whatever they want.
A girl told you
arrogant in the interview?
Yes.
Oh, wow. And what do they know about an employee's market when half of them don't even know what work is? They're living at home.
Right. What is an employee's market?
I've actually heard that term before. It's an employee's market.
I would imagine when there's a lot of available jobs and not enough people.
But you know what? I don't know anybody that has any business sense that's going to waste their time and effort on somebody who is that fucking ignorant.
Yeah.
I mean, even the state of Indiana, it's a government. You know, all the government agencies, they can't find people. I work for an engineering firm now. They can't find people. I mean, they hired me and some other people away from the state, and nobody really wants to come out.
You got to look at a lot of those positions that you're talking about with engineering and state and federal jobs. The qualifications that they require for you to even get those jobs are so fucking ridiculously, astronomically through the roof that's why they can't find anybody.
I mean, they're hiring
that for the government. Like you don't need a degree, and
you don't. Now, if you're working in a technical field like IT or like what I work, you need a degree. But most of them are paper pushes. But nobody wants to go work for the state either. And if you're driving down, because I live off the interstate 65. Where Angry Snowman lives off near 69. That's
I live off State Route 67.
Okay, 67. That's the state. Well, you see a lot of these billboards. They're advertising for truck drivers. Nobody wants to go get a CDL and drive a truck.
Well, not after what they saw happen to that fucking dude over in Colorado.
Yeah. Well,
what happened to him?
They tried to give that kid 100 years and over 100 years in prison for a fucking car accident.
Yeah, they did.
Like, did somebody die or like what happened?
There's a few people that died, but he was going down a downgrade, and he was a rookie truck driver, and he lost control of his truck, and it ended up causing a pile up, and a few people did die, but they tried to give the man over 100 years in prison. 100 years.
I've heard of affluent guys getting no time. Or when you remember those stories a few years back?
Yeah. Right. But I'm just saying,
what was the disorder?
You got murderers that aren't even getting 20 years in prison, and someone it causes a car accident, which an accident means it wasn't intentional.
Unintentional, yes.
Yeah. Speaking of accidents, Nate, you work as an insured. How many accidents have you had to deal with in the last? Because I know on my way to work, I've seen a number of trucks get in accident, tractor trailers on I-65.
And I'm telling you, the advent of the cell phone, and this is actual studies done by insurance companies. The advent of the cell phone, the number of accidents have increased something like 40% countrywide. 40% increase in accidents.
Well,
it was primarily due to people's cell phone.
Yeah, I was going to say, don't they say driving and texting and shit on your cell phone is actually more dangerous and detrimental than drinking and driving?
Drunk driving. I've heard. I've never seen the actual info.
The actual data.
Yeah, but I've heard that before. Yeah.
Well, look, I'll just tell you from personal experience. I know that when I would drink and drive, when I did that dumb shit, I tried to use a little bit more caution and discernment to get home without getting in trouble. When I go to grab my cell phone, whichever way I'm leaning, like if I go to grab it to my right, my car tends to start going the same way I'm leaning to grab my cell phone.
Yeah, man, very dangerous. The cell phone.
And I'm at the age now where dude, I won't answer my phone if I'm in my car at all whatsoever. I don't fuck with it. I won't touch it. People know that don't call
supposed to be
me.
wearing an earpiece in your.
No, really, in all honesty, Leon, when you're driving a vehicle, you're not supposed to be distracting yourself with anything. You're supposed to be paying attention to the road.
Bro, there are people. Look, I've seen, and I'm sure Nate has seen it too. Matter of fact, I've seen it when I was on I-75 driving down to Atlanta.
I yell at people all the fucking time.
And oh man. And you know, you're on a long trip and you see dumb stuff.
I'm constantly bitching and screaming out the window at people on their fucking cell phones texting.
Well, I mean, I've seen them, you know, I've seen individuals, they got the dog sitting in their lap while they're driving.
Dog in their lap, the Wall Street Journal opened up.
Their makeup.
Oh, dude, for real. Putting on makeup going fucking 80 mile an hour down the fucking interstate.
Yeah, I've seen that too. And they're home.
Your mascara can wait till you get to the parking lot at work, for Christ's sake.
I mean, if that job is more important, then you should have prepared for it. I mean, and that's another thing. And working, they're going to have to find a way. I bet you they're going to bring the remote work back to some people. They're going to bring that.
Actually, I think remote work is going to be the wave of the future.
Yeah, working from home. Yeah.
And
whoa! Let me tell you what auto damage appraisers. All major insurance companies had auto damage appraisers. They get they're in the field. Like USAA got rid of like 90% of their vehicles. Now they kept most of their adjusters, but now the adjusters are just working from home, requesting pictures, and the few guys that got to keep cars, they go look at the real heavy, expensive accidents. But most accidents are $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, which is actually minor. And they're doing it from home with pictures now. And they're not going back to the cars. Yeah.
Oh.
Wow. Hey, before you guys go, I got to get off here real quick.
And I got to get ready for my show. I'm about to be down bouncing too.
Well, Nate, I'll be on your show, man.
Appreciate that.
But hey, I appreciate the discussion, man. And you take care, Leon, and Big Nate. It was nice talking at you again, man.
All right, man. Salute.
All right, brother Nate. You'll be broadcasted in a couple of hours. So
yes, sir. Yes, sir. About 3:50.
3:50.
Yes, sir.
Oh, what? Well, I'll be right up. I'll be right up top there, man. And hey, look, the discussions, man. I want to keep on having these discussions because it is very, very important to talk about what's really going on. Look, I don't give a darn. I'm sure you don't now about the Pookie and Ray, all that bull crap. I give a darn about what's happening out here because look, you're an insurance adjuster. You have to get out here. I got to get out here every day myself, and I need to know what's going on myself because in the end, it's about making money, and I'm trying to direct people to get in the trades, get in the STEM, and if they want to be an insurance adjuster like you, that's something you could tell them. But we need to really understand politics and how this system works. It's not about the white man because you got a number of white people struggling, just like a number of us. In fact, you and I are doing better than some white folk out here.
Absolutely. I'm doing better than a lot of white folks. I'll be honest with you.
Well, you know, I don't walk around with the inferiority complex, and I'm sure you don't either. Now,
no, sir.
And I believe the brothers that come on your channel, my channel, we might be looked at as a little coonish to some of them. And I understand the whole ordeal because we tend to have independent thought. We know where we want to go. And in the end, we're all about making ourselves better. And again, it's how you navigate yourself through life. And you don't need college. So this is what I tell people. Heck, you've admitted. And Brother Nate, I'll admit something to you too. I dropped out of college before too. My mom wanted me to go. I didn't want to go. I dropped out. I fooled around. I dropped out. I just happened to go back.
You went back and finished. Yeah. And you should be saluted for that. Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, I went. Well, the way I did it, brother, I worked out there, and restaurants because I didn't
Did
even
you
know.
benefit from the military? Did they cover your costs?
I was in the military. They paid for some of it, but I got associate's degrees first, and then I went and got my graduate degree and undergraduate. Well, I got my undergraduate degree first, and then graduate degree. But I dropped out of college too. Wasn't any dummy. And I want to say this: it's because you don't finish college, it doesn't make you a dummy either. Some people just don't want to go to college, and you probably saw the writing on the wall with
the debt.
debt.
That's what I saw. The debt was ridiculous.
You also saw the liberalism that you were probably going to get in. And look, I know how you go head to head with people here on YouTube. I could see you going head to head with a professor, especially when they're one of these feminist professors. And we're going to try to, because I know what they do. If you don't agree with them, they will have an effect on your grade.
Vindictive women, yes, they will harm you. Absolutely.
They will, brother. They will. So, but your closing thoughts, because I know you're going to get ready because it's about an hour away.
Yes.
I got to get ready for your stream, brother.
Appreciate it. Just in closing, man, great conversation as always on the 411 Talk Zone. Check your Cash App, sir. And,
all right. Yeah. And let me check the last of the poll question here. I'm starting to get like the poll questions here. Again, 17 votes. Is the United States headed for a recession? The number hasn't moved. 94% say yes. 6% say no. And thank you, brother, for the Cash App. I appreciate it.
No problem.
Well, it's probably gonna come right back to you.
It's the least I could do, dog.
And we got to keep supporting each other's channels, man.
Absolutely.
And that's the thing. And one thing before you go, and I mentioned this on your channel last night, we got to stop with the competitive jealousy. It's great to have competition, but when we are being competitive to where we're trying to, I mean, I know the world is cutthroat. Okay. I can understand nothing is fair, but in the end, when we're trying to cut somebody down just to get chips, that's not productive. That's counterproductive. And your channel, you got your channel be moving fast anyway. And in the chat, salute Nate Dogg 74. We already know it's Little Big Nate. He's already spammed this channel. Also, like, share, and subscribe to the 401 Talk Zone radio show. And I'll be doing some new content on my newer channel, the QCIS channel, formerly the Mind of STEM channel. Teach you all how to do some more Excel work, do charts. Yeah, I've been doing that on my other channel, brother. And what I'm going to do on that channel, I got to go. Hey, you know how to operate a GoPro camera?
I've never done it. Never done it.
Well, I'm gonna be operating that, and I'm gonna be putting some field stuff on my other channel. Like when I go in the field and do construction, I'm gonna be doing that. And if you can, get a backup channel. You're a smart guy.
Sure.
Get a backup channel. You and your son like to go out there, and you like to go to his fights. Get a backup channel and put that on there. People watch that.
Gotcha. All right, I wanted to give you some advice also, because
certainly
I can really see your channel getting more live listeners. I want you. I mean, I don't tell grown men what to do, but
no, but if you got,
I want to give you a suggestion.
Yes, sir.
You know ABL, right?
Oh yeah.
ABL does live streams 3 times a week. Okay. Go and call when I had 400 subscribers on my last channel when it first started. I went on ABL's. Okay. I called into ABL.
You talked to him?
Yes. Yeah. I talked to him and I kind of tore it down, and I got 100 subscribers from ABL.
I didn't know you listened. Well, yeah, you listen to a lot of guys. And I have to go.
Yeah. Go again. If I could just give you a suggestion, go on his live stream, call in, and just do your thing, and you'll have people subscribing to your channel, more people coming to the live stream. Now, there's a good chance these folks will be white, but I know you don't care.
Brother Nate, I'm gonna.
I know you don't mind.
You on the channel, people like you and me. I'm gonna just put it out on the table. That's basically what kind of audience we're going to get.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know if you could, I'm just going to be honest, if you could get more white subscribers, you would have a much larger audience. So when you get the time, are you subscribed to ABL?
I am subscribed to ABL,
Okay.
and there's some other guys. Go to Will Johnson. You ever heard of Brandon Tatum?
Oh, absolutely. He's the biggest quote unquote black conservative out there.
He's the one too. And I you know what, Brother Nate? Somebody's been in my, because I know talked to Tommy Jean about it, and those are good, brother. You said something. Well, she said something too. I know where you're going. I didn't want to put it out there directly. Now the Pandora's box, the cat's out the bag. We need to go above just the black audience.
Oh yeah. If I just focused on conservative, in a year I could have 500,000 subscribers. I know I could.
I mean, because you just said something. And also with my other channel, my QCIS channel, I'm going to have to go and put that out there for,
engineers, scientists, community. Yeah.
Because you said something too. I noticed that when it comes to this community, brother, we always going to be behind. Many of us aren't in the politics. We're not in fixing cars. Because I talked to Brother Matt Coley. So man, go get something on trucking. They're not into creating new stuff. We're into just fighting and talking about
and cussing, talking about women and stuff. And I talk about women, but that's part of what I do is like talk to women.
The guys actually, and I'll give a shout out to Minister Jap. He knows how to do that. Shout out to Red Supreme. Those guys are really good at that. They can do it consistently.
Absolutely.
I can't do it consistently. I mean,
understood.
But see, you do it. You add a little bit of politics in there with what you do, though.
That is true.
Yeah, I know how you do it. You know how to. You see it. So, but I'll do that, brother.
Go on ABL again. I think it's Wednesday, Saturday, and I think Monday, Wednesday, Saturday he goes live. Go on his channel, 411, and just do your thing. I promise you will get probably a few hundred subscribers, and your streams will begin to open up. As far as the number of listeners, man. But you got to go out and go to where the people who think like us are. You
know what? That's true, brother. And hey, I thank you for coming up, and I'll be on your stream in about an hour and a half, bro.
Absolutely, man. Well, salute, bro. I appreciate you letting me up.
All right. Thank you, Brother Nate. And God bless. Get over there and subscribe to his channel. He'll be on live as well. And just want to say God bless you, brother.
Yes, sir.
All right. That was Little Big Nate. Again, right here on the 401 Talk Zone radio show. He made some good points. If you are African-American and you have a mindset that is not, I'm going to say the liberal mindset. If you're a constitutionalist, you're a conservative, reach out, because to me, that's very, very big. What it is here in the black audience, many of us are trying to get the same audience, and you have good audiences here, but you have to branch out. And like a business, I want my business to be for everybody, because I believe I have a good product just like everybody else. Now, again, I always believe this. We have to stop it with the ego. We have to stop with the competitive jealousy. Shout out to Ringo. I mean, if you really want to get an understanding on how a studio is built, Ringo has a fantastic layout. He has all the soundboards, the piano. He's a producer. Looks like a modernized Motown studio. And there are other folks. Angry Man has got a good setup. And before I go, let me get into the education, because it's very important that you understand this. You can get a degree in a field, but you have to use that degree. Now, a degree does not make you smart. You have to learn how to apply the principles of your college degree. Now, what a degree tells an employer is you're trainable. And when I bring in you being smart with a degree, I'm talking about being smart in the subjects you study. If I got an engineering degree, I understand the basic principles of engineering, the engineering discipline, whether it's civil, mechanical, electrical, or chemical. I said chemical, electrical, mechanical, or civil. Even though I got that engineering degree, it still does not make me a smart psychologist. I have to learn the psychology topics. Now, again, just like I told Little Big Nate, I dropped out of college myself. I went back. I do not profess to be the genius person in the world. What I am is somebody that believes in the real world. And at the end of the day, application means everything. So, in the long run, don't let anybody tell you that getting a degree is good or bad. You have to make that determination on your own. But even if you have a degree, don't put down anybody who doesn't have a degree. Everybody's not going to get a degree. Everybody's not going to own a business. But what we have to do as African-American men, the solution's already out there. Just have to learn how to disagree with one another. Everybody's going to come up with something different. Got to listen. Take the ego aside and learn how to solve problems. That's what it is. Now, what I said today, when it came to the gas prices, understand when you go and buy a big car that takes a lot of gas, you're going to pay big money. Money's going to be tight. You have to know how to manage it. But one thing I will tell you is always be a thinker. People who are emotional are always going to lose because they think with their heart, not with their mind. And it's impulsive. So at the end of the day, if you want to be free of the drama, and salute to you, Celine. And Tommy Jean said she is glad to see you back. And we were worried about you. And I'm glad you came up here. And thank you for coming up here. And you be safe out there, Celine. And we care about you here on the 401 Talk Zone radio show. Nate, he cares about you too. You have been a staunch supporter of my channel and his channel. And I just want you to go in the right direction. Because you have a number of individuals out here that are going to use you. So don't give everybody your information. And that goes for everybody in the chat, men or women. Don't put your information out there where people are going to get it and they're going to try to get money from you. This is where you get a lot of the scam calls. I know it happened to me. I was applying for a payday loan online. And they claimed that I got a payday loan. I never got a payday loan. Never, ever got a payday loan. But that was a scam because they got the information that I signed up for one, but I never received any money because I didn't complete the application. And what they tried to do was put it on my credit report. And they sent the information to collections. Told me I had $500. And I got two different dates. I said, well, what was the first date? Well, 2014. Then it was 2015. I said, well, there's statute of limitations. You didn't want to hear that. There's a lot of scamming going on out here. And you have people out here who are going to be something that they're not. Always keep your head in the game. Common sense. Again, I'm giving you information that you don't even need a degree for. You just need to have an insight on what's going on. Because in the end, you only live once. And you have to think about where you're going to go in this lifetime. And going back to individuals about the American dream, we've always been taught that we need to live the American dream. Well, a dream is what it is. It's a dream. It's not reality. I do not believe in keeping up with the Joneses. When you go out and buy materials, you're looking for the status. And I always call people who are materialistic insecure anyway, because they're not really themselves. They're something that they're not, and they want to impress others. Now, you have some individuals who are living the minimalist life, which means they don't need a lot. Now, they're going to be looked at as strange people. They're not strange. That's right. You do what you can. That is absolutely true, Celine. You do what you can. Living a minimalist lifestyle affords you the opportunity to do what you want to do. There's some people who don't need a 9 to 5. If you pay your bills and save your money, you can still maintain a healthy lifestyle. Just take care of your health. Just take care of your heart. Take care of your mind. What we tend to do here in America, and we've been taught that we have to follow the crowd. And again, shout out to Ringo for saying this. Even being a YouTuber, don't be a follower. Sometimes you got to go solo. That's what he does. Shout out to ABL and Will Johnson, Dr. Steve Turley. Shout out to Red Supreme, Minister Jack. For the most part, they go solo. That's true. I would often be told I need to be like everyone else at their same speed, but I'm learning it's okay not to be where everyone else is. That's a fact. You don't need to be where everyone else is. You need to be your own person, because for the most part, you follow the crowd, you follow them into the slaughterhouse. And many individuals who are, I call them crowd pleasers, they're ignorant anyway. They don't have their own minds. They have the sheep mentality. You want to stay away from those people. That's what you have to do. And like I said, we're glad you're all right, Celine. It's not the money you donate. It's the mind, and you contribute by coming up here on my channel, and Nate's channel, and other channels. To me, that's real support. I go out and make money 5 days a week. But I'm glad you're okay. We were worried about you. And again, having principle. No where you are. And then, from my humble opinion, have a belief in God. Admit your mistakes. Always know that you're not going to be right all the time. It's not important to be right all the time, but learn from not being right all the time. In other words, learn from failure. Heard this before. But in the end, we're all people. Whether you're a millionaire or a thousandaire. Whether you have education with a documented degree or you don't. We're all people. And until we understand that, we're always going to have problems, jealousy problems. I always say when I come up here online, it's not about me. It's the information that I deliver to my audience. And the information that I give you is for learning. You don't have to agree with everything, but just take some of it if you believe it'll help you. It helps me. And I also learn from other individuals as well. So again, so go back to the poll question, a final poll question. The number hasn't moved, so our final poll is out of 17 votes. Is the United States headed for a recession? 94% said yes, and 6% said no. And once again, I thank the guest on my panel, and I thank the chat for supporting my channel here on the 401 Talk Zone radio show again. Nate will be streaming at 3:50. I'm going over there to his stream. Like, share, and subscribe to the 401 Talk Zone radio show. And, of course, the QCIS channel. Get a daily dose of science, technology, engineering, and math. That channel is formerly the Mind of STEM channel. And again, that's my commentary for this edition of the 401 Talk Zone radio show right here on YouTube. And by the way, I apologize. Friday, I took the original stream down because I wasn't prepared. So that's why I'm doing the stream today, so I can get more participation and have more energy because I am prepared. Again, you can hit the Cash App if you'd like. I'm not going to be hounding you for money, but I do want you to like, share, and subscribe to this channel and the Mind of STEM channel. Well, formerly the Mind of STEM channel. It's known as the QCIS channel. Information is already up. Now, if you cannot find the 401 Talk Zone radio show on YouTube, you can check out my content on Twitter because I will post it there. Now, as far as the QCIS channel, formerly the Mind of STEM channel, if you want to know what's on that channel, give you a daily dose of science, technology, engineering, and math. The subjects that I do present are overviews of IT, civil engineering, mechanical engineering, and calculus. Now, if you cannot find the QCIS channel on YouTube, you can always check out Twitter. And of course, since this is educational and professional material, I also post content from the QCIS channel on to my LinkedIn page. And at the end of the day, I'm going to leave you with this. Be blessed for what you have. Don't worry about what you don't have. Always know that the sun rises in the east and sets in the west. And good afternoon, Paducia. I'm about ready to end this podcast so I can go over to Nate's podcast. So, in the end, I'm going to leave this slogan for you. If it doesn't apply, let it fly. But if the shoe fits, wear it. If you don't like the shoe, change it. And once again, thank you for listening to this edition of the 401 Talk Zone Radio Show right here on YouTube. Till next time, my name is Leon Jones. I want you all to have a wonderful and gracious afternoon. God bless you. I'm out.